What up, gang? This is KenZerk, KenZillion, Zika Milligan, and Villain Trilligan, and we are back on Fate Stay Night. A fucking massive ass reveal. Basically, everything that I theorized before about Archer and Shiro turned out to be true. I'm flexing on y'all niggas. Y'all probably thought I was dumb. Y'all probably thought I was stupid. Y'all ain't realize I'm literally the smartest nigga in the world. Y'all gotta lock the fuck in. When I speak, you listen to my life-changing wisdom. That's the word. This might be the final episode for Unlimited Blade Works. So it's time to, well, just get into this shit, you know? Get into this shit, see what's gonna pop off. My stomach hurts a bit today, which is kind of annoying because I've been waiting until I was able to get up early to record and I haven't had any issues. Unlimited Blade Works, February 14th, chapter 15 after image, day 15 after image. I've been waiting, interlude. I've been waiting until I was able to get up early to record before I recorded this because I felt it might be pretty long, right? And I haven't had any issues recording before. But as soon as I'm finally up early and able to record this comfortably, my stomach is killing me. I don't understand why. It is daybreak. The knight in red is leaning against a pillar and staring at his own arm. He puts strength into his fingertips and clenches his fist. Only about half of his sensations are left. Even though he is a heroic spirit, he cannot maintain his existence without a master that helps him stay in this world. Archer is existing because of a special ability that his class holds, but that is nearing its limit. The knight in red's remaining strength is less than a tenth of his original powers. Less than a tenth of his original powers. His fist lacks strength, and he should slowly start fading if he lets his guard down. But there's no problem. Even if he only has a tenth of his powers remaining, it is enough to finish Shiro Emiya off. Considering the difference in their abilities, this is not even a handicap. Therefore, it will end once they fight. His one and only objective will be accomplished here. So is he basically just trying to commit suicide? That is right. Am I playing as Ren? Hold on. That is right. He's been waiting for this moment. He has endured the endless repetition hoping for this chance. He could only wait for a miracle that would not usually be able to occur, with the possibility close to zero. And his wish is granted. No, it is about to be granted. He does not care about what awaits him afterwards. He will kill his own self with his own bare hands. That wish, which doesn't have enough of a future to be hoped, is what kept him going after he wore out. Was it long? Or was it an instant? He is an existence that disappears after each summoning to start with. His memory does not remain intact, whether he repeats that cycle 100 times or 1,000 times. It only stays in his body as knowledge. Heroic spirits know about other heroic spirits because they have accumulated knowledge. It is just like a book. Every time they are summoned, the book with its history is sent to its home. They remain in the house and read the books that are sent. What is troubling is that the one at the house does not know when those books are sent. The past or future does not matter. All the books are already in his room. His only way of measuring time is to read the records of his cleaning that he will carry out. It makes no difference whether it is an eternity or an instant. An eternity is an instant, and an instant is an eternity. Therefore, he does not know how rare this miracle is. He doesn't know whether it was the first or the 1,000th time he was summoned since he gained this hope. All he has is this unordered knowledge. The future, past, and present are all things that heroic spirits don't have. Damn. A visitor, eh? I chose this place since I was told there would be no interruptions here. The knight in red suddenly gets up. Did his ears hear an intruder? Footsteps echo to the castle that should be silent. Wow. I'm surprised, Osaka. I was skeptical, but you're actually here. The voice echoes. The boy who rudely entered is Shinji Mato. Hey now. No funny business, Archer. I have no business with you. You don't have any business with Osaka either, right? Then isn't it meaningless for us to fight here? Shinji Mato walks over with light steps. Oh, okay, so we're not Rin Tosaka. He's looking at Rin Tosaka, who is tied to a chair. The girl doesn't say anything and stares at the intruder while being tied up. That must make him pleased. Shinji Mato licks his lips in satisfaction and walks to the girl. What? Shinji Mato glances in annoyance at the knight who is staring down at him in silence. What? You want to fight? Are you serious? You'd be no match for me. Shinji Mato smiles and returns to the entrance. There stands the golden-haired boy, the 8th servant, Gilgamesh. When did he reveal his name? Of course I know that's Gilgamesh. I played the Fate route. But like, when did they reveal his name in Unlimited Blade Works? I don't recall. He himself is a disaster. The golden servant looks at the knight with cool eyes. But within them, the red eyes distorted from a smile, only to have the intention to murder the enemy in front of him. The knight in red is still silent. It makes no difference whether Shinji Mato appears or the strongest servant in front of him is ready to attack him. The knight calmly stares at the uninvited enemies. You're scared, right, Archer? It's fine, nothing to be ashamed of. He's the servant who killed Berserker without difficulty. It's natural for you to be scared. Do you want Rin, Shinji Mato? Huh? Yeah, of course. There's no other reason for me to come close to this castle. I see. Then wait until things are over. I will give her to you once I get rid of Shiro Emiya. She is mine until then. It cannot be helped if you cannot compromise on that. It is regrettable, but you will die here, Gilgamesh. The knight in red declares, still staring at the golden servant. Very funny, fool. Was that statement itself good enough reason for the man to kill Archer? The golden servant identifies the knight in red in front of him as a target he must kill. Wait, Gilgamesh. Don't be rash. Let's be smart. Come on. He's saying he'll give her over to me, so I'll let him. Archer doesn't have a master. I'm sure there's no master who would form a contract with him after how many times he betrayed people. So he'll disappear if we let him be. I can take Tosaka after that. Shinji Mato stares at the red knight, still smiling. His eyes looks as though he was enjoying the fate of the one who was about to disappear soon. How smart, Shinji Mato. That decision is accurate. In that regard, you are most suitable as a master. Oh, you show promise. What a waste. I would have formed a contract with you had you come to me. Stepping away from the— Shut the fuck up, nigga, I'm talking. Stepping away from the knight in red, Shinji Mato claps his hands happily. My tummy hurt! I almost choked on that piece of ice. But a nigga like me don't choke. I take it all down the throat. But I'm sorry. I don't need any more servants. It's unfortunate, but you'll have to disappear here. You do not need to tell me. So what will you do? Will you fight me or will you wait until I disappear? Yeah, I'll wait. We'll protect Osaka until you get rid of Emiya. But that's right. In case that thing is mine already, right? Then don't you think I can do anything to her now? He looks at the knight in red and Rin Tosaka with snake-like eyes. Don't play. You gotta understand. He doesn't know. But in the end, Archer is still Shiro Emiya. And Shiro is not going to let nobody just do what they want to do with Tosaka. Those words test the loyalty of the knight in red. To that, The agreement with Shiro Emiya was that she will not be harmed, but that will disappear by dawn. You can do as you wish once that time comes. The knight in red answers in an emotionless voice. I guess he doesn't give a fuck, damn. I thought better of you! Did you hear that, Tosaka? Your servant is selling off his master! Sneering laughter echoes through the dingy room. The red knight leaves the room as if he has no interest. He passes by Gilgamesh. He goes into the hallway, ignoring the red eyes that look at him amused. At that moment, the King of Heroes says, mocking him, Archer didn't give a fuck! Hold on. Until the dawn, nobody come. Y'all gotta tap into my Persona 1 series, just gas. Dawn approaches. Our conversation dies off as we head deeper into the woods and the silence weighs heavily. Once I'm through the forest, I, Shiro Emiya, will settle the score with that man. I have no chance of victory, my defeat is certain. I'm well aware that I'll be slaughtered as soon as we cross swords. I don't feel fear, but not out of defiance or determination. I might die, but he's long dead, bitch ass nigga. The moment I realized this, I knew that I was no different. There's no longer any point in feeling gloomy about my own death. I pass the castle gate. Saber's expression is dark. She knows what sort of fight awaits me. She's troubled by me and by him. No matter who lives or falls, the same man will disappear. She's in anguish, unsure whether she should put a stop to this absurd duel. She glances skyward. Her eyes look severe, or perhaps angry that such a vain battle must be fought. We come to a great ruined hall. Morning mist shrouds the ground to be our mutual resting place. You're here. You sure took your sweet time, Shiro Emiya. His icy voice rings through the air. Its familiar baritone comes from the second story. The man stands there atop crumbling stairs that culminate in the sunlit plateau. His crimson cloak seems distant and hazy. But I can see him. I can make out every exact detail of my enemy. We share the same eagle eyes after all. He is a servant assigned the role of archer. He's a bowman yet not a bowman. A contradictory person who possesses a vast number of noble phantasms and hurls them out unsparingly. All of his noble phantasms are replicas, and his personal noble phantasm is the ability to create infinite swords. I was the only one who failed to realize his identity. Heroic spirits are summoned from all eras. If the past doesn't contain an appropriate hero, then one might be born in the future. I finally realized that there can't be two pendants. It's always been. That's right. You held on to it as a keepsake of your savior for the rest of your life. It's the one and only memento of Ren Tosaka's late father. It's a paradox for two of them to exist. If Shiro Emiya held on to the pendant for the rest of his life, then a catalyst is needed to summon a heroic spirit. There must be a connection between summoner and heroic spirit, just as there was with you and Saber. Ren Tosaka did not use a catalyst to summon her heroic spirit. She assumed that she summoned a servant she had no relation to whatsoever. But heroic spirits are never summoned by coincidence. There must be a material connection between summoner and spirit. If that's true, then there's only one explanation. Tosaka didn't have anything to connect herself to Archer, but yes, This only happened because the heroic spirit had a catalyst connecting itself to the summoner. That tiny gem, of which there's only one in the world. Someone saved my life and I never found out who. But I kept the pendant with me, assuming it must have belonged to my savior. That's the answer. He has Tosaka's pendant, which makes him the heroic spirit, Emiya, my future self. The man standing before me perfected Shiro Emiya's incomplete abilities and achieved my ideals. The red-clad knight looks down at me from atop the stairs. There's no sign of anyone else around. Only he and I stand here in this hall. Archer, where's Tosaka? I left that girl somewhere in the castle. You should hurry if you're worried about her. You took so long getting here that I gave her to Shinji Mato first. You what? I kept my promise to you. I haven't harmed her. But it's no business of mine what anyone else tries to do to her. Still, I can hazard a guess. Shinji Mato feels lust and animosity towards Ren Tosaka. One hardly needs to imagine what might happen to Ren under his watch. The little brat might be losing his temper at her provocations as we speak. Nigga, you are not me! Shut the fuck up! My blood boils. How can he just talk about her like that? Settle down, laddie. You can leave the last to me. I'll rescue her right away, don't you fret. Huh? Lancer? It's an order from my master. I'm working with you because I won't let the last die. I gotta say, this has been more comfortable than I thought. Yesterday's work wasn't bad. It's not often I have a job that I actually like. With that flippant remark, Lancer ignores Archer and heads for the western terrace. Lancer, don't worry about it. I'm just doing this as a hobby. All my orders until now have left a bad taste in my mouth, you see? So I'll see this one all the way through. You can worry about your own mess. Yeah. Take care of Tosaka. Lancer departs with an eye. But then, he stops and turns as if remembering something. Hey, what about you, Saber? Aren't you coming with? Saber looks pained. No, I will remain here, Lancer. Her response isn't what you'd expect from a servant. You're serious? Your current master is the lassie. You're only supposed to protect your master. I know that, but I want to stay here. I must bear witness to this battle. Yeah, you do that then. Lancer disappears. The blue-clad spearman easily leaps up to the second-story terrace and disappears down the hall without another glance. Archer doesn't make any move to stop him. Tosaka seems to have outlived her usefulness to him. I step forward through the rubble. I'm headed for the middle of the hall, at the bottom of the stairs. Saber stays where she is. She intends to watch us fight, and keeps her emotions in check. You won't interfere then? I appreciate that, Saber. It would have been pointless to sever my contract with Rin, only for you to get in my way later. I can hear her hesitate. She inhales slightly and answers the man standing at the top of the stairs. No. Whatever happens, I will not intervene in your duel with Shiro. Good. Then I can kill the boy at my leisure. Yes. But I want you to answer me this, Archer. Why are you trying to kill Shiro? No particular reason. I can't accept his existence just as he can't accept mine. That can't be true. You're Shiro himself. Are you not the person who embodies Shiro Emiya's ideals and became a hero? Why would you try to kill yourself? Why do you think that? The immature Shiro Emiya is a complete distinct entity from the hero called Emiya. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to exist at the same time. But that's only because you're a servant. I've heard that once you become a guardian separate from the time axis, you're going to be summoned into the era which you lived. You are Shiro. You should be the very image of what he imagines and strives to become, so why? Why did you turn out so differently? I can hear her anguished question, even if she doesn't say the words aloud. He starts down the stairs without answering. He can't answer. If he could, then we wouldn't be here trying to settle things by force. Saber challenges him without actually stepping forward. It's alright, Saber. You can back off. With one hand, I gesture for her to move back to the entrance. But Shiro, I appreciate the thought, really. But we're beyond words now. His only goal from the start has been to kill me. Saber bites her lip in distress. She looks at me and then at Archer as he descends the stairs of the hall. Why, Archer? I don't understand. I've heard that guardians are heroic spirits who protect humanity after death. Why would you think of killing yourself instead? Guardians. Archer stops and looks down at Saber emotionlessly. The word seems to have struck a nerve with him. You're wrong, Saber. Guardians don't protect humanity, they're just cleaners. They aren't the heroes I aspire to be at all. His voice changes. Hatred and scorn tinge his dispassionate voice. I indeed became the hero that Shiro Emi aspired to be. A hero of justice. Someone who always does the right thing and doesn't let anyone get hurt. The kind of person Shiro Emi has always wanted to be, who doesn't retreat from any disaster and saves everyone equally. Is he saying that he achieved that ideal? Yeah, I've saved many people. I did whatever was in my power to live up to my ideals. I even saved the world. A hero, they called me. I finally achieved the status that I'd yearned for all my life. If you became a hero, then Shiro's effort was rewarded, right? At the very least, you are here because Shiro Emiya's ideals were realized. Then you shouldn't have any regrets if that really did happen. Her verbal challenge doesn't leave much force behind it. Doesn't have much force behind it. She already knows. She's aware that her words are merely wishful thinking. You asked if I realized my ideals. I did act according to my ideals and always did what was right. But at the end of my path, all I gained was regret. Only death awaited me at the end. I killed and killed and killed. I killed people to carry out my ideals, scattering innocent lives so much dust, and saving thousands of times the number of people I killed. Saber stares up at Archer in shock, almost as if she's looking into a mirror. I don't know how many times I've repeated that, Saber. I fought as many times as was asked of me, and I threw myself into mortal danger as long as there was conflict to be found. I've done it too many times to count. I didn't have a choice. When you save someone, there will always be someone else who isn't saved. The end of the battle only gives rise to a new conflict. As long as that exists, so will heroes. I wonder who his lecture is directed at. The knight describes his path as he slowly descends the stairs. That is why I killed. I trampled dozens of wishes to save a single person. Then I ignored even more people to save those whom I trampled on. I killed the hopes of dozens of people, saved those whom I could see, and killed the wishes of even more. In my pathetic hubris, I told myself each time that it would be the last time, that no one would be sad anymore. But there never was a last time. As long as I was alive, I saw conflict no matter where I went. There was no end to it. It's not that I dreamed of a world without conflict, but I just didn't want anyone to cry in the world that I knew. Without a doubt, that was my very own dream. When you save one person, your perspective expands. Next time it's 10, after that 100, and how many after that? That's when I realized that Shiro Emiya was clinging to a mere feel-good idealism. Why would you say that? Don't ask me something you already know, Saber. You've experienced it many times yourself. It's impossible to save everyone. Some people must be allowed to die to save a kingdom. You encounter that reality on a daily basis, I'm sure. The Red Knight's words stunned Saber into silence, sapping her of the will to disagree. They must reflect Saber's inner darkness too. That's right. There are only so many seats at the table. You can never provide enough chairs for everyone to sit in. You can't save everyone, so some must be sacrificed. To do that, I killed those few leftover people with my own hands as quickly as possible, to minimize the number of casualties. That is how a hero of justice, a man who always does right by his ideals, should behave. A wish for no one to be sad, an ideal to save as many people as possible. If someone holds both of these ideas, then there's only one path to take once they contradict each other. A hero of justice can only save the people he's decided to save. If trying to save everyone means saving nobody, then saving as many people as you can with the minimum sacrifices is the right choice. A hero saves a lot of people, isn't that right? That's why I killed. I had someone die for the greater good, all while wishing nobody would die. I brought despair to people while saying that no one would be sad anymore. In time, I got used to it. I betrayed my principles in my effort to live up to them. I only saved the people I chose to save while swiftly slaughtering those who opposed me. By allowing someone to be sacrificed, I stayed true to my old ideas. That is who the hero Emiya really is. So, don't you think the world would be better off if such a man died sooner? So self-pity, basically. Alright. Don't get me wrong. I understand where he's coming from. Depression is a bitch. But all I'm getting from this is that he's just pitying himself and taking the easy way out instead of just living with this fucked upness. Damn, my stomach hurt. Alright, I'm back. My stomach still hurts a bit, but it's a bit more bearable now. He's right. A superhero can only save the people he's decided to save. However, who ended up betraying those words in the end? I don't believe you. Even if that was true, I think that you would only be willing to sacrifice yourself. I think that you would only be willing to sacrifice yourself to stay true to your ideals. Archer stops again. For just an instant, a pained frown clouds his face. You didn't betray your ideals. You were betrayed by them and merely lost your way. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to kill yourself to atone for your sins. His sardonic grin disappears. Archer fixes Saber with a cold glare breaks into an uproarious laughter, as if she just said something hilarious. Hold on, I need a water. Now that was a classic. You think I'm atoning for my sins? Don't be ridiculous, Saber. I have no sins to be punished for, nor do I recall forcing such irresponsible matters onto someone else. Anyone else. The Red Knight remains deadly calm. Only his low chuckle reverberates through the hall. I'm gonna try to push forward, but if things like get really bad with my stomach, I might have to like actually just finish the recording another time, cause damn. That's right, Saber. I was betrayed and deceived many times. I was even framed for the crimes of a man whom I saved. I put my life on the line to end a war, and ended up in the gallows after they accused me of masterminding the bloodshed. See, if I was guilty of anything, surely I paid for it in that moment. But that can't be, Archer. Then in the end you... That's about it. But I didn't mind at all. I never did any of it I never did any of it for gratitude. I never asked to be glorified as a hero. I just wanted an outcome where everyone would be happy. But it never happened. Not during my life nor after my death. His laughter's gone. Now his words are tinged only with hatred. Guardians are a neutral power which prioritizes the survival of the ruling species. That power exists in a higher place, and ascends when the human world is threatened. I knew it was no different than slavery. I agreed to a fate nonetheless. To give up my soul to the Guardians and be removed from the time axis. As long as it meant that someone else would be saved. In the past, I couldn't keep my vow as Shiro Emiya. So I thought that if I became a Guardian and joined the force that prevents humanity's destruction, that would be for the best. But the truth was different. Guardians don't save anyone. All they do is mop up. They exist only to use their power to erase everything humans have committed after the fact. They don't save people. They erase anyone who would do harm to the world, be they good or evil. Guardians are mass murderers who eliminate people in despair rather than saving them, so that others enjoying their lives elsewhere may continue to live. It's completely absurd. How is that any different from anything else I've done? It's not different at all. In fact, it only created more despair. He couldn't make his dream come true on his own, so he devoted himself to a greater power. And he still ended up in the same place. He thought that a higher power might be able to grant his wish, but it was just a larger version of what he'd already been doing. Is that what you've been carrying this whole time, Archer? I got used to that too. Humans are creatures of habit. The strong take from the weak in every era. And I learned that it was the most efficient way to prosper. I saw it many times. Meaningless slaughter, pointless equality, and worthless happiness. I was forced to see it even when I didn't want to. Once I became a guardian, I lost my free will. I was summoned by the will of the humans to clean up after their own messes. That's the conclusion he arrived at. An existence that erases the despair other humans make. Guardians don't save anyone. They just erase the existence of people who aren't saved. Over and over. Whenever they see humans do something that causes their own destruction, they show up and burn it all. The man became a hero, thinking he could save as many people as possible. But in the end, that wish never came true. It was all wrong. That wasn't what I wished for. That's not what I became a guardian to do! The rage in his voice is probably directed at himself. The man that stands before us is a worn down wreck. The hero Emiya was perpetually shown the ugliness of the people he wanted to save. In the end, he felt hatred. Hatred at his past self, for valuing the humans who just kept taking from each other. You know who he needs? We need to call Gordon Ramsay from Kitchen Nightmares. That man right there, he knows a broken man when he sees a broken man. And he knows how to fix that nigga too. Gordon Ramsay be a damn therapist, bro. I'm tired of cleaning up humanity's messes. But there's no way out of this cycle now that I'm a guardian. Except for one. His cold eyes gleam with unshakable bloodlust. They aren't looking at Saber. Archer's sole objective is to erase himself. However, ever since he died, he can't erase the original Emiya that exists in a place outside of the time axis. It's impossible to erase someone who's become a guardian. Guardians are of the void. There's no point in killing someone who doesn't exist on this world's axis. However, if it were possible, there would only be one way. If he were to kill himself before he became a hero, then that hero would never be born. Therefore, so you're going to kill Shiro with your own hands. Yes, I've been waiting for this chance. The probability of it happening was nearly zero. But I still gambled on it. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't. I continued working as a guardian, hoping for this opportunity to come. It won't work, Archer. You already exist as a guardian, so it's too late. Even if you were to kill Shiro Emiya now, you yourself wouldn't disappear. Maybe you're right. But there's still a possibility it could work. It may be impossible to alter the past, but if I do it myself, the paradox might become too large. So large perhaps that the hero Emiya might simply cease to exist. Besides, Saber, I've only carried on as a guardian this long because I was waiting for this moment. I'm not about to have any sight and hope for a saving grace. I'm just taking out my anger on the boy Shiro Emiya who acts like a clown for his pathetic ideals. So you're throwing a temper tantrum. And then the Red Knight steps into the same hall that I'm in. Only he and I stand amid the rubble. No obstacles separate us. Our reasons for being here are simple. He wants to kill me and I can't stand him, so I'm gonna kick his ass. I step into the center of the hall. A few more steps and there'll be no going back. Before that, Archer, do you regret it? There's one question I need to ask him. Of course I do. No. Of course I do. No. You never should have tried to be a hero of justice. He spits the words out like venom. That's the last push I need. I see. Then we're two different people. What? I don't regret anything, no matter what happens. I won't regret this path. That's why I'll never accept you. If you claim to be my ideal self, then I'll strike down those flawed ideals with my own hands. That's how I've lived. I've come this far believing that it was right. It probably is mostly pride, like he said. I've lost more than I've gained, but still, Shiro Emiya won't back down, not even for what he's lost. I advance. A circuit in the back of my mind has already begun to sketch a blueprint. Alright, I'm going to take a break.
Would you mind taking a step back, bitch nigga? I like my personal space.
Hey guys, we're back on Fate's Day night. My stomach isn't starting to hurt, so we might be able to actually finish the shit. Let's go! I advance. A circuit in the back of my mind has already begun to sketch a blueprint. That way of thinking is the root of it all. One day you'll catch up to me. Like hell I will. Oh? So you'll let me kill you here then? I step forward towards my enemy. We're close enough to cross swords now. Neither of us are armed. We're going to go at it barehanded. Oh shit. Shiro Emiya isn't a swordsman. We make swords. So, looks like you understand. The battle with me means a sword-making competition. His hands grip a pair of swords. That night, that simple pair of blades that took my breath away at Ryudo Temple. They were rare masterworks, forged by a famous smith at the cost of his wife's life. Damn! Bro, I swear, until I had pieced together that Archer was literally Shiro? Like, literally, until I pieced that together, I swear I thought Shiro was just dick sucking. I swear I thought this nigga Shiro was just dick sucking, bro. Come on. I initiate my prepared blueprint and replicate the swords just by visualizing them. They're so flawed. My swords, which I thought were perfect, are terribly vague compared to his. My inferior imagination has produced a degraded delusion. Most likely, they'll shatter against his swords. I take another step forward. A deliberate, firm step. Rubble crumbles beneath my feet. The sound seems to declare a start to the duel. Can you keep up with my replication? The instant your precision drops, you'll die! Woo! Where the fuck is the music? I'm sorry. Where is the music at? I guess the music is technically on. It's just not playing yet. Our swords confront each other. An identical pair of weapons, 4 blades overlap as if attracted by magnetic force and clash. Word, my nigga? Word, my nigga? An interlude? Okay. I guess we're going over to Saber who's saving Rin. Or not? Who the hell is this? He easily tracks his target down. Lancer may seem as if he specializes in combat, but he is actually quite skilled at magecraft. He learned to master more than just Gay Borg in that arcane forest called the Lane of Shadows. He is a hero because he learned the 18 primordial runes. Of course, he rarely flaunts his magical skills because he prefers to fight with a spear rather than magecraft. Today is one of those rare occasions. Got him! He drops something which had been running on the ground. A rock inscribed with the Berkano rune returns to being a mundane pebble, its task complete. Who the hell are you? A boy I haven't seen before stands up in a panic. The shrill voice sounds familiar. Lancer retracts that thought and realizes who this is. Aren't you Rider's master? I thought you kicked the bucket a while ago. He breaks off. Rin Tosaka is behind the boy. She's tied to a chair. That's fine. She's been held captive, so that makes sense. But several details stand out. First, her chair is tipped over. Since Rin Tosaka is tied to the chair, she's on the ground too. There's sand in her long black hair and something red around her mouth. Oh, he must have rocked this shit. She probably cut her lip. It's slight, but one can make out bruising around her lips. Are you Lancer? Who sent you here? This wasn't the Sit your bitch ass down! A casual fist plants itself into Shinji Mato's cheek. Lancer's trivial backhand sends the boy crashing into a wall. Oh, sorry about that, kid. My hand moved before my mouth did. He looks unconscious, but not dead. Granted, if Rin Tosaka's face had been a little paler and her clothes more disheveled, it wouldn't have ended with just a knockout. He would have paid a heavy price. To be clear, Lancer does not care about the treatment of prisoners, but he doesn't like it when someone else steals his prey. Of course, enemies he kills and women he's fond of both count as his prey. Lancer! You trying to fuck Tosaka? Rin Tosaka wonders aloud from her bound position. Her voice sounds sleepy as if she was unconscious. Hey, it's morning, sleepyhead. I don't think he's trying to fuck her. You know, fond of, as in he finds her interesting, you know? I know a lot of people don't be understanding jokes and stuff, so I'm a perpetrator of that. So let me just go on and explain. Hey, it's morning, sleepyhead. Lancer approaches her with an out-of-place greeting. Huh? Wait, this is the Einsburn Castle. I know. Just stay still. I'm gonna cut your bindings. You can do as you please after that. It's up to you whether you want to go stop those idiots brawling in the hall or leave out the back door. His crimson spear materializes in a whirl of air. Oh, thanks. Lancer, behind you! It's Gilgamesh bitch ass. Ren's warning makes him turn. What? Someone he didn't even expect stands there. In the corner of the room, with firm footsteps, a man walks past where Shinji Mato pancaked into the wall. Oh, so he's back! Okay, I knew he wasn't dead. I knew Kodamine wasn't dead. That's enough, Lancer. I told you to cooperate with them, but not to involve yourself this deeply. Kirei Kodamine, who they thought Caster killed. Ren yelps in surprise. Lancer glares suspiciously at the priest. Alright, when did you convert to a new religion? I thought my master didn't believe in coming to the front lines. I have no faith to convert from. You were the one who has disobeyed orders, Lancer. I thought I ordered you to eliminate Archer. Did you fail? He'll kill himself whether I lift a finger or not. I came here to wrap up some unfinished business. I was gonna ask why you here, but I assume you put that kid up to this. I don't appreciate such insinuations. We are collaborators, mutual allies working together to obtain the Holy Grail. Shinji Mato groaned underneath the rubble. The priest doesn't even spare him a glance. Okay, I figured you wouldn't die that easily. Not only are you as persistent as a cockroach, but you've been pulling the strings behind the scenes. Talk about awful taste. Why are you manipulating someone as harmless as Shinji? He's harmless to you, is he? How very like you to say that, Rin. I would have no criticisms of you at all if you were only a slightly less capable apprentice. The priest chuckles. His expression is that of a priest blessing someone on their deathbed. A chill runs down Rin's back. She realizes what her fate stay night is. The priest looks down at his apprentice of 10 years with a saintly smile. Hold on, Kodamine. What are you gonna do with that woman? Did you lie when you said you wanted to help your student? Lancer stands between his master and the girl, glaring. Of course not. She is an important pawn whom I've worked to nurture. I can hardly retire her now after deceiving her for the last decade. That's why I assigned you to protect her. It's only extended her life by 2 days. Wouldn't you say that's more than enough parental affection? The priest walks past Lancer to look at the girl sprawled on the floor. Ren glares up at her former mentor. You phony priest. I knew you were capable of everything, but you've actually been a master this whole time? Breaking the rules doesn't even begin to describe a referee playing the game himself. And yet you're taking this very calmly, Ren. You must have figured it out. Of course I did. The reason I never showed you my servant was because I suspected you. But I didn't think you'd trick me from the very start. The very start? The priest frowns. It seems he wasn't expecting her to say that. What? You got a problem with that, Kirei? No. I'm just wondering when exactly do you mean by the... Fuck. I'm just wondering when exactly you mean by the beginning. His lips twist into a sneer. The priest gazes down with a look of true elation. Wait, Kirei, you... Do you mean from the beginning of this Holy Grail War? Or are you speaking of the previous war? Then everything falls into place. Rin's face goes pale and she stares up at the man who mentored her for 10 years with an incredulous look. So you killed him? Naturally. He was my master whom I owed a great deal. I spared no effort in betraying him. I remember that. I did watch Fate Zero like years ago, so I do have memories of what happened in that. There's a grinding noise. The girl is staring at the ground, gritting her teeth in anguish. Fuck off and die, you damn priest! Even hell is too good for you! I hope everyone else beats the shit out of you forever in limbo! A piece of shit like you deserves to get turned into a pincushion! Just outside of heaven where you definitely don't belong! In a rage, she hurls abuse after abuse at him. Of course, the priest is unbothered by such trifles. Damn. Someone else is taken aback by the girl's sudden fit, however. Shinji has never imagined that Rin could bear such emotion even in his dreams. Kotomine, I said I'd take Tosaka, remember? I'm the only one who still has business with her. You just need to wait up at the church for me to wrap things up. No, I still need her too. I will have her become the Holy Grail. Shinji doesn't understand what the priest is saying. Yeah, because Illy is dead, so she can't be the Holy Grail. Only the priest and the girl he intends to sacrifice do. This would be an opportune time to eliminate Archer and Saber. If they offer any unnecessary resistance, it will affect her freshness. We should settle this quickly. The priest steps away from the girl. Only Lancer is in front of Ren now, armed with a spear. Kotomine, you little. Dispose of this garbage, Lancer. The vessel does not need a heart. Only Shinji reacts to those words. Rin just glares at the priest, gnashing her teeth. The priest smiles already. The priest's smile already told her that she's going to die here. She knows with no help coming, and that she knows that no help is coming, and that no one would hear her even if she begged for help. So she absolutely refuses to snivel. It's the only form of resistance she can offer, and it represents her defiance. She won't give up until the very end. Help might still come at the last possible second, or a miracle might even occur, like something that destroys the entire room, leaving only her intact. I know it's impossible though. Saber! Come get your damn master! She won't give up, but she knows what is and isn't possible. That's why she isn't very scared. There's just one thing she's worried about. It's awkward to imagine the face he'll make when he comes to save her after she's dead. She doesn't want to make him cry. It pisses her off thinking that she'll make him cry, and she doesn't even know how to apologize for it. Of course she can't apologize if she's dead, but she still doesn't want him to cry. Sorry, Emiya. Guess I'm tapping out first. So as she apologizes while she still can. It doesn't matter, but it at least makes her feel more at ease. What's wrong, Lancer? Your opponent is a young girl. It should be easy enough to stab her. The priest has no mercy. However, forget it. I'm not playing along this time. If you want me to do that, use a command spell. Lancer answers Ren's enemy with defiance. What? The priest narrows his eyes. Master and servant glare daggers at each other, and the temperature in the room seems to drop. I see. You leave me no choice. I hate to waste a command spell on a task I can do myself, but... The priest lifts his left arm. He activates the command spell inscribed on it. Then I order you to kill yourself, Lancer. Isn't that a shocker? Lancer coughs up blood, but the red droplets that dribble from his mouth, pale in comparison to the torrent of blood gushing from his chest. Damn you, Kotomine! His murmur can't even be heard. Lancer stabbed himself through the chest with his own spear, completely destroying his heart. Goodbye. Your role in this is over. The azure armored spearman collapses on the floor. Damn. Lancer, you gonna let that slide? You better get up and be like, nigga. I had a joke, but I forgot it. Pulling Scarlet seeps into the floor. Lancer shows no sign of getting up. He has fallen by his own spear on his master's orders. That's fucked up. The priest moves. He approaches Rin with easygoing steps and takes a knee next to her. He reaches out with a hand to the bound girl's chest as if to pluck her heart out. Hey, that wasn't the deal, Kodomine. You said I could have Tosaka. You fucking degenerate. The priest glances at Shinji without answering. He like, you can't kill Tosaka. I still owe her a lot. I need her alive. Shinji whines, his back to Lancer's corpse. But his protests die off. The boy cowers away from the priest's severe gaze. The prince looks back down at the girl. Any last words? I'll hear them out. A simple concession. You know what I'm thinking already. Rin answers him in her usual tone. I suppose I do. You won't give up until the end, Rin. At the same time, your ability to instantly accept hard truth is one of your greatest strengths. Very good. That contradiction is delectable. Alright, so when are we gonna leave this this intermission or whatever the hell it's called? When am I gonna leave this intermission? Go back to Archer and Shiro, where they fight for a bit, and then they're like, wait a second. Something tells me Tosaka's in danger. And then they run up to save Tosaka and then beat the absolute dog shit out of Kodomine. That's gonna happen in a second, right? Like we're not actually about to see Tosaka just get killed. Like that's not gonna happen. He doesn't hesitate. The priest roughly shoves his hand into the girl's chest over where her heart would be. She closes her eyes. There's a stabbing sound. A heart is pierced and blood spills out. The stone room becomes a tomb for yet another dead body. Rin is the one who gasps. The floor is drenched in blood. The dripping sound comes from somewhere high up. From the floor, Rin looks up to see that it's coming from the priest's chest. Fuck yeah! Blood rises up from his esophagus. The hole in his chest is obviously a fatal wound. And the thing that stabbed him from behind is none other than the cursed spear known especially for piercing. The priest feels no emotion. He simply looks at Lancer behind him, blood running from his mouth. Too bad for you, Kodomine. I wouldn't be a hero if this much was enough to kill me. Lancer's sardonic tone clearly sounds like a bluff. There isn't a hint of vitality in it. Without a heart, his body is already starting to fade. He pulls a spear out of Kodomine, who collapses lifelessly to the ground. Fuck yes! Trained in the arcane and blessed by the divine he might have been, but he was still only human. There was no surviving a thrust of the heart from Lancer's cursed spear. So that's how this ends. Fool. Lancer leans his crumbling body against the wall, but it buys him little time. After collapsing once, he's bound to disappear for good. He's lost his heart and his master. The only reason his body is still somehow holding together is because of his legendary tenacity. Nice! Yeah, you dumbasses, go kill each other! Shinji's cackling brings Rin back to her senses after watching the priest die. What was all that about taking the Holy Grail? You are fucking useless until the end, father! Shinji kicks the priest's body. I can't. Hold on, what was that meme? People were making fun of fucking Nobara for this shit. When JJK was still coming out. What was that meme? He just shows up when everything's finished. Like, hold on. This dude just shows up after everything's been built. That's fucking Shinji, bro. He don't do shit. He can't fight for shit. He can't scrap for shit. He can't do nothing. He just watches shit go down, and then he acts like a big shot after everything is finished going down. You ain't do shit. Nigga, you pissed your pants when Kodamine looked at you. But now that he's dead, by somebody else's hands, you want to call him useless and kick his body, as if you did some shit. You just a bitch ass motherfucker. You fucking pussy punk bitch. You stupid piece of fucking shit. I fucking hate this nigga. I dead ass hate this nigga. I don't think I've ever hated a character more than fucking Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist and that dog bitch from Akame Got Killed. I don't think I've ever hated a character more since then than this stupid motherfucker right here. His body doesn't move at all. You can't even move his fucking body with a full force kick. You weak as shit. You skipping leg day. You skipping arm day. You a skinny fucking twig. I could throw you in a dog's mouth, and even the gentlest fucking dog would accidentally snap your twig ass in half. I can't even play fetch with your bitch ass. I toss your ass and you'll go into fucking orbit. You dumb piece of shit. Pleased with himself, the boy kicks the priest's face as hard as he can, making a dry crunching noise. The sound of sensation delights Shinji more than he expected. Don't complain now. I won't hold what you said earlier against you, since it would be pretty lame to talk shit about a dead man. Shinji snickers. Having lost all reservations, he closes in on Ren eagerly. Sorry to keep you waiting, Tosaka. Everyone keeps getting in the way, but we're finally alone now. There's still 3 more servants. I'm sure it'll be all over by the time you're tired of crying. Shinji scrambles forward on all fours like a That's what you looking like, Shinji? Looming over Ren. But I'm glad you're still here. I'm not finished with you yet. You're such a pain, Tosaka. If you go dying on me, won't that be really unfair to me being this patient? Come on, make some puppy eyes at me. I might help you out depending on your attitude. Besides, the Holy Grail is as good as mine. I'll share it with you if you become mine. Unbelievable. You really are a moron. Tied up and on the ground, Ren scoffs like she's talking to a child. What did you just say? I'm sure that you still haven't learned your lessons, Shinji. Kirei was just manipulating you. Listen to me. You can't handle that servant. Even you should be able to tell because you're close to him. So open your eyes already and quit this deathmatch. It still isn't too late for you. If you don't want to die here, then get out of here as soon as you can. So you're just gonna beg for your life, is that it? You're so dumb, Tosaka. That jackass Kodamine is dead! Who's gonna stop me now? Shinji reaches for Ren's body, but the second he does, he goes flying for a second time. Shinji slams into the wall again. Little punk. That isn't a woman the likes of you can touch. Who is that? Is Lancer still alive? This nigga is still alive! Let's go! Lancer glances at Shinji and lazily walks over to Ren. What, you're still gonna mouth off at me when you're a dead man walking? He is not the Undertaker! The spearman stops. He turns and faces Shinji. You could have died peacefully if you just taken a dirt nap. Now I'll make it hurt for what you just did. You'll make it hurt? You'll make it hurt? Ha! Get out of here, nigga! Come on, Gilgamesh, you're up! This guy wants to die like a badass! Shinji raises his voice. He calls for his servant, the mightiest slayer of heroes. Hey! What do you think you're doing? Are you listening? I said get out here! His voice rings out. The golden servant does not appear. The bloody blue spearman takes a step towards Shinji. Shit! What the fuck? You're supposed to be dead! Stop trying to look cool, just die! Don't you know how lame you look? You must! A strike whips out. A single precise strike, like a flash of light, stabs Shinji in the right shoulder. His scream fills the room. Lancer withdraws his spear looking bored, then puts his face in front of Shinji's. Get lost. I might be on the verge of death, but I could kill 1,000 more, but I could easily kill 1,000 more like you. You should have just killed his ass. Hugging the wall and cowering away from the spear pointed at him, Shinji leaves the room in a mad scramble. Waste of energy. With a heavy sigh, Lancer walks back over the ring. The wind-cutting spear severs her bindings like tissue paper. Thanks a lot, Lancer. Isn't this song in Tsukahime? Thanks a lot, Lancer. Ren thanks him for her freedom. She bows to Lancer, ignoring the filth around them. I just felt like it. No need to thank you. Suddenly, he collapses limply. Ren can't catch him in time. Lancer's too weak to even lean against the wall now, and he slumps to the ground. His legs won't move. His limbs were already long dead. It seems nonsensical that he was able to stand up, kill his master, and set Ren free. A sudden cough of blood stains his blue armor further. Hold on, I'll close your wounds. Ren rushes over to the bloody spearman, but he stops her with the hand. Don't bother. It won't be that easy to heal my heart after Gay Bull destroyed it. You don't have the energy to spare anyway. But don't worry about it. I'm used to going out like this. Heroes always end up dying on someone else's orders, absurd orders, you know? His easygoing tone is the same as it always is. Even seconds away from death, the spearman doesn't change the way he acts. Ren stands up wordlessly. Seeing that, Lancer breathes a sigh of relief, as if a weight was lifted from his shoulders. I guess we both drew pretty boring partners, huh? Yeah. Though mine's just hard to deal with, not boring. You got that right. I wouldn't complain if I had a woman like you for my partner. Sadly, I've never been involved with any good women. Good grief. It's like that's one habit I'll never fix. He chuckles dryly, and then... Now hurry on. I'll take him with me. You need to get back to your own partner. The spearman urges the girl to leave. He prepares Ansuz, the fire rune in his hand. As soon as he inscribes it on the ground and charges it with all its remaining magical energy, it'll burn the entire room to cinders. Ren understands his determination and turns to leave. Goodbye, Lancer. I didn't know you long, but I'm fond of people like you. She runs off to the Great Hall. Come back when you're older, lass. A hearty guffaw escapes his lips. Flames engulf him. The blaze consumes Lancer and his master's body. Not a trace is left behind. Like a mirage, the crimson spear and Azure armor disappear into the flames. I would like to issue a formal apology to Lancer. I don't, it wasn't, damn, right back to action. It wasn't on camera. I don't think I was doing it in video. I don't think I was, but I was slandering the fuck out of Lancer because of the first route. I was slandering the fuck out of Lancer. You know, people were talking about he was a GOAT and everything, and I was just like, nigga pulled up and fucking left. Like, he pulled up, got his ass whooped, ran away, and then he pulled up at the very end and died. Like, I don't see how he could possibly be a GOAT, but I apologize, Lancer. I get it. I thought you were fraudulent, but you're actually a real nigga. You're actually a real nigga. Identical swords clash. Shiro Emiya and the man's attacks are completely equal. Shiro Emiya and Shiro Emiya's attacks are completely equal. Yet every time they clash, my blades break and I'm wounded badly. I'm cut deeply by attacks I should have intercepted. His Kansho shatters my Kansho. It cuts me open in a sidelong slash. Ow. I desperately try to avoid the strike, but I can't. The wound isn't fatal, but it lacerates my muscles and will probably become a critical injury. Damn it! I bite back the pain and try to knock the enemy Bakuya out of his right hand. Fuck no! What? He shatters my weapon and blocks me there too. Our swords and skills should be the same, but I'm facing an insurmountable wall. Did you think your Kansho could match mine? Your concept of the fundamental points is still lacking. It's only natural that the weapon will crumble if there's no principles behind its structure. Even if the appearance of materials match your visualization, it will collapse if the image doesn't make sense. He's giving lessons. Simultaneously, he unleashes attacks that cut open my flank and my forehead. I immediately project a pair of swords to parry with. I have a headache so bad it nearly blinds me. It isn't from the burden of projection. It's that headache from before. The hunch I had when I was looking for Tosaka. The fever I get every time I face him. This time is the greatest burden yet and it's driving my body crazy. I fend off slash after slash. I attempt to cut him down in return. And each time, the red headache burns my eyes. Is it the contradiction of Shiro Emiya and the heroic spirit Emiya existing at the same time? Since the moment we recognized each other, my body gets felt off every time we made contact. I traced his swordsmanship and even acquired his replication skills. It makes sense that I picked it up quickly. After all, his skills are the most optimal combat techniques for Shiro Emiya, honed over years of experience. How could I not take to them quickly? I'm trying to catch up to him. I've learned things about my future self that I shouldn't have. My eyes go numb. Each swing of a sword, each shower of sparks create flashes of light robbing me of my vision. My skills can't keep up and each attack dyes my vision red. I wouldn't mind if that's all this was. My body is already torn to shreds. A headache is nothing compared to the feeling of having my stomach torn open with a branding iron. The problem is, the headache won't stop as long as there's something else to draw out from him. That's 5. You should be reaching your replication limit. I know your magical energy capacity all too well. You look like you have 3 left. I went to the trouble of showing you all that, but you still have the wrong idea. I hear a hint of disappointment in his taunts. The wrong idea. As if that matters right now. It does. Nigga, he's teaching you! He's trying to kill you! But he's still teaching you! More importantly, I need to do something about this headache. It's coming from you. Anyway, it's impossible even if you've reached it. The current Shiro Emiya can't generate enough magical energy. Yes, either way. My headache worsens. He brandishes his sword as if to settle this once and for all. You never had a chance of winning this! And brings his swords down to my head in a crisscross slash. I raise my swords to defend and they shatter. My body goes numb like it's been pounded with a sledgehammer, and the headache burns not just my eyeballs but my brain. It's flowing in. So, this, right now, is even scarier than the pain. They're his memories. The reason he's changed so much. I'm seeing fragments of the events that Shiro Emiya will experience in the future. I don't know if they're right or wrong. I'm sure nobody can be the judge of that. Beautiful things were ugly and ugly things were beautiful. Objectively, there was nothing repulsive about them. So what made him go astray? Sophistry, misrepresentation, treachery, narcissism. What the fuck does sophistry mean? The use of fallacious arguments with the intention of deceiving. Oh, okay. How do you say it?
Sophistry.
Damn, hold on. Say that again for me, shawty.
Sophistry.
Ooh. I like that. These make up most of what I saw. I am the bone of my sword. And yet he didn't seem to mind. He swore oaths and had ideals to uphold. He didn't care what he lost. Even if others betrayed him, he believed that there would be a future as long as he didn't betray himself. If he never complained or even showed himself getting hurt. Steel is my body and fire is my blood. Then to the people around him, he was no different from a machine. He was useful to have around, so they used him. They only saw him as a tool. But even a machine can have ideals to uphold, so he accepted being treated as a convenient tool. I've created over 1,000 blades. Unknown to death, nor known to life. It wasn't something he could tell anyone else. The more he failed to save people and the more people he killed, the less he could profess his ideals. Eventually, his only option was to stick to them as resolutely as he could. The result? Shiro Emiya failed to uphold the ideals he dreamed of even once. And he learned that he was a nuisance spouting foolish drivel. Have withstood pain to create weapons. Look, this was his fate. Stay night. Look, this is where you'll end up. Damn, I bet that shit hurt, don't it? My heart breaks. Don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him, but my heart feels like it's gonna break when I know that this is the path that awaits me. Yet those hands will never hold anything. Everything you believed in. Everything you believe in. After you were shown that it was all a lie and a fanciful dream, you still... We clash again. This time he comes straight from my heart. Not with the dual swords, but with some spike-like sword. I retreat to gain some distance. I'm holding a sword I replicated in a spur of the moment. I fight against the nausea. What did I just see? Forget it! Forget you saw anything. I just need to defeat him now. I can't afford to dwell on anything else. I miscalculated. I've heard of invocations where the user is possessed by a previous life to learn their past skills. And it seems your skills are being sharpened each time we fight. Panting, I ready myself for his next strike. Meaning that you're drawing more out of me than just projection. Look at your face. You look absolutely miserable. You must have seen it then. He holds his breath. Don't make me say it. Don't make me remember. If you tell me what I just saw, that makes us faster then. It's all true, Shiro Emiya. The red cloak flutters. In an instant, he closes the gap and thrusts a spike at me. My weapon is destroyed in one blow. A sword I hastily projected for the first time can't hold up against his weapons. And yet, he throws aside his weapon while I'm unarmed. The next projection is Durandal, a sword said to be a sword of conquerors. I skip 4 counts and instantly project a replica of his weapon. Of course, my imitation is broken with one attack. I've fallen. I was pushed back and fell backwards onto the rubble. And then I'm surprised. Just that fall was enough to stain the rubble red. Huh? I just never noticed that my body is dead, both inside and outside. Enough. You appear here like a fool even knowing that you can't win. You've been a prisoner to your ridiculous ideals your entire life. And you're a fake who doesn't have a will of his own. Do you understand who you really are now? His voice resounds. I'm covered in wounds. Each of them is deep enough to sink a finger into. I'm seriously screwed. Someone like that doesn't deserve to live. I guarantee it. Shiro Emiya's life is worthless. Your emotion of wanting to save others is fundamentally wrong. You're a defective fake that never should have existed. I have almost no magical energy left. To make matters worse, my magic circuits are burning. They've been burning since yesterday's projection, actually. Something that was about to break is now completely broken, that's all. But my body protests that it can still fight. I've just been playing tough, pretending that my broken heart is whole. So, I need to stand up and beat him. It's futile. I am your ideal self. You should know by now that you can't win against me. I invest what remains of my consciousness into all my circuits. My nerves splinter and scream. Within myself, I weave together 8 counts without skipping a beat. He said off! I acquire his dual swords. Kancho and Bakuya, a pair of masterworks forged by an ancient smith. I swing. I'll keep attacking over and over with all my remaining strength until I burn out. They're not breaking. Dual swords needs dual swords to intercept them. Archer switches weapons to Kancho and Bakuya in defense against my combo without taking a single step back. I see. Of course you'd refuse to accept it. As long as I am your ideal, Shiro Emiya has to protect me more than anyone. His calm words piss me off. Just keeps quipping at me while I can hardly breathe. Damn you! I attacked desperately. He locks our swords together without parrying me. I'm being pushed back, weapons and all. There's a vast gap in our physical strength. I don't have a chance of winning in a pushing match. Then answer me this, Shiro. Do you really want to become a hero of justice? For an instant, the sudden question makes my mind go blank. What kind of question is that? I don't want to become one. I will become one. I put my muscle into it and glare right back at him. And he answers, that's right. You have to become one. Because that's the only emotion Shiro Emiya feels. You can't deny or reject it. Even if it isn't a desire that came from within yourself. His heart-wrenching words stopped me in my tracks. It's a desire that didn't come from within me. I denied before I even considered what that means. I can't let him make me say it. I can't realize what he means. Deep down, I know that if I comprehend what he means, then Shiro Emiya's very foundation will crumble away. Oh, looks like you've started to sense it. Or perhaps you realized it right away and desperately tried to distance yourself from the memory. I can't even recall it anymore. I clamp my lips shut. I don't want to know. I know that I shouldn't know. Still, I finally realize that I have to know it. Shiro Emiya's paradox. The answer to what my mistake was and what's wrong with me. I don't have your memories anymore. But I still remember that scene. An inferno as far as the eye could see. And a dense odor of death. Desperately begging for help. And the emotion of being saved. Kiritsugu Emiya's look of profound relief when he rescued me. I'd accepted my death and my heart was empty. Then someone saved me. My rescuer smiled at me with tears in his eyes. When I saw that, I thought that he looked so happy. Yeah. You didn't have survivor's guilt for being the only one to be rescued. You simply looked up to Kiritsugu Emiya. You thought that you wanted to be like him because he looked so happy when he rescued you. Right. Back then, I wasn't the one who was saved. I considered a thought that I'd been avoiding. If Kiritsugu caused that fire, then the guilt would have been unbearable. It was a tragedy without a single survivor. Kiritsugu must have searched for survivors like a man possessed. And then he found one when none were expected. He found a child that should have been beyond helping, who shouldn't have even been alive. What a miracle that must have felt like. But I understood that he saved me. I didn't know his circumstances. It was good enough for me that someone rescued me from that hell. Even if the emotion was directed at himself, his will to save me, and the earnestness of wishing for someone to be saved were all genuine. And that was enough. It was enough for me that Kiritsugu Emiya saved me after I had become nothing. That's why. It's only natural for a child to look up to his parents. But you took it too far. If you only wanted to be like Kiritsugu, or become what he wanted to be, that would have been enough. But he left you that curse. I don't need to say it, do I? It means everything to you. Your dream, huh? That was the answer. A man even emptier than me heard my innocent words, entrusted his wish to me in relief, and passed away. From that moment on, Shiro Emiya had no choice but to become a hero of justice. My own feelings didn't matter. All I needed to do was become the person I looked up to, for the sake of someone I looked up to when I was young. The wish for everyone to be happy was an impossible one, which came from Kiritsugu, not me. You must have realized it by now, Shiro. Your ideals are borrowed. They're an imitation of what Kirisugu failed to become, and what he believed was right. I grit my teeth and desperately try to bolster my breaking heart, and yet, a hero of justice. Don't make me laugh. There's no way that the desire to live for others, which you've repeated countless times, came from yourself. It's pure hubris for someone like you to want to help other people. His blades cut through the air. His swings, filled with reproach, rained down on me with unprecedented aggression. As I watch the raging flurry of blows, I accept that I'm going to die here, just like I did 10 years ago. Impact after impact pounds me down. Once beautiful swordsmanship has deteriorated into brute force. My left arm trembles after blocking the strikes. The shock of it has broken my fingers holding the sword. I scrounge up every bit of mental focus I have left to create a kansho. It just barely deflected another slash. He's got me. His first assault already pushed me to near death. I won't survive this next barrage of blows. Yet somehow, my heart is broken, but my body denies him with all its might. It screams that he's wrong. Like a part of me earnestly feels that it's wrong to admit he's right and let myself die here. I look up. My eyes aren't working. They don't see my enemy. They only replay his memories. Within them, there's an image of me huddled up like a turtle in its shell, trying desperately to survive. I hear more than the sound of blades clashing. It's him. With each attack, he berates himself. That's right. You looked up to his wish to save people because it was pretty. I take his sword strikes again and again. Bakuya is broken. Kansho is my last lifeline. That idea never sprung from you. If that isn't hypocrisy, then what is? Kansho breaks and my life begins to peter out. My chest hurts. Shiro Emiya's heart is torn apart. Not by the waterfall of sword strikes, but by Archer's words. You were driven by the obsession to live your life for others. You just kept running, never feeling like you were suffering or realizing that you were failing. Denial after denial. With each rejection, I lose my will to fight. My body already wants to retire, unable to take the physical shock. And yet, that very same body keeps denying him desperately. But you're just a hypocrite. Your hypocrisy can't save anything. You don't even know what you're supposed to be saving. I'm sent flying. I sail through the air, not unlike during the encounter with Berserker. But I plant my feet. His blow threatened to send me tumbling into the rubble, but I stand my ground with all my might. My body knows. It's stubbornly refusing to fall. It's stubbornly refusing to fall because it knows that it can't get up again once it does. I plant my broken Kansho into the ground and use it to support my weight. I pitch forward, nearly falling over and can't get up. I brace myself against Kansho with both hands, holding on to it like a walking stick. I must look pathetic. From the side, I might even look like I'm kneeling before him. Your ideals are morally bankrupt. The idea of valuing others over yourself, of wanting everyone else to be happy is a fantasy, a fairy tale. You can't live without clinging to that dream, and let it drag you to your death. My life isn't worth living. No, he said that my entire life is worthless. My weapons are gone. It's futile to even stand up. Meanwhile, he doesn't even look winded, much less wounded. This duel is decided. No, it was from the very beginning. There was no way Shiro Emiya could ever be a match for the heroic spirit Emiya. But this is wrong too. If the gap in our abilities was truly that large, then this silly scuffle wouldn't even happen. It's my heart that lost this fight. I'm weak because I realized that I'm wrong and accepted that he's right. I've only lost on that front because... bullshit.
Nani?
What? Because my body has been protesting that it won't lose to you. Why else? Why else would it get stronger every time you dismiss my ideals as fake? Shut up! That's a load of bullshit! I can reach him. I know I can. If my weapons are broken, I'll just use them as they are. If everything I have is broken, then I'll just mobilize everything I don't have. If I haven't lost, then there are depths I still have yet to reach. My headache throbs again. For an instant, I see his scenery, probably for the last time. I can't understand him, but I think I can learn from his pain. He's a hero whose incantations express and judge himself. Right now, I can't understand the will behind those words, but I'll accept them in your place. My body. I chant the verse loud and proud. Emiya's own words hurt him. He accepted that and chose to kill me. That's all he wanted at the end of his long journey. Then, just as you deny me, I'll strike you down even if it's the last thing I do. My body is made of... fuck that. I am the bone of my sword. Oh, hold on. My body is made of swords. I whispered without thinking. I look up. On the verge of death, I stand up to him. I swallow a glob of blood that was blocking my throat. The once fading Yang sword Kansho, cloaked in a concrete image once more. You still... That's right. You say this is a dream. I've always known that. But I've kept believing in it because I think it's right. I've followed in Kirisugu's footsteps because it's a dream that won't come true and an impossible ideal. Even if it never comes true, if I keep running, I'll get close to it one day. Her sheath. It still protects you even when your contract is cut. I ready my sword. I don't care about that. Right now, I won't lose to you. I can lose to anyone else, but I'll never lose to myself. Need to keep being Shiro Emiya until the very end. It is an unbelievable fight between swords. He charges in despite being fully wounded. His fingers are broken, his limbs shredded. He hasn't even realized that he's not breathing anymore. Hold on. Fuck! Y'all know when a song starts doing that, that shit right there. Y'all know when the song starts doing that shit, I go crazy. I love that shit. His fingers are broken, his limbs shredded. He hasn't even realized that he's not breathing anymore. The speed is insignificant, and the blows he delivers are mediocre. He may have absorbed Archer's knowledge and advanced to a point where he can fight him, but he's back to being a boy again. He executes a haphazard, mediocre attack, and yet, that first blow is heavier than any of the other attacks before. What? Apathy turns to astonishment. His sword seems to shout. The boy swings a longsword faster than his opponent ever imagined. Where is his power coming from? The vigor of their clash reaches an unprecedented pitch. Damn you! The man can't even pivot to defense. Each attack is lethal enough to take his head. He judges that this situation must be taken seriously and moves his swords accordingly. Up and down, left and right. The 4 slashes, unleashed in an instant, are enough to cut the boy to ribbons. But he blocks them. No, the boy launches a bladed tempest that overcomes the 4-fold technique. He wields his longsword with swift skill. You little! The man senses that he must attack or be cut down. The longsword assails its dying enemy. The boy swings his sword foolhardily. The two sides struggle. Sparks fill the air, declaring that any who enter the ring will be torn apart. But this should be the dying spark of a walking corpse. With each attack, the boy's breathing becomes more labored, and he looks closer to collapse. But he takes another step and attacks again. Having seen this, the man is sure of something. His enemy doesn't have any strength left. The boy in front of him is the walking corpse, and yet, why does the boy continue to wield the sword as if he has infinite strength? He isn't conscious of it. He doesn't know what his opponent is doing, nor can he tell if his attacks are working. He cries out, his muscles begging for oxygen. They demand that he stop due to a lack of blood. And he pushes through it all with brute force. Mistake. Only one thought occupies his mind. His feelings are fake, just like this guy says. He probably can't become a hero of justice. As long as Shiro Emiya looks up to that goal, he'll reach the same destination as the man before him. Not a mistake! But he felt that it was beautiful. He knows it is hypocritical to value others over himself. And still, he longed for such a life, wondering how nice it would be to live that way. It's the only motivation driving his body forward on the verge of death. He can't hear what his enemy is saying. It speaks to how fierce the clash is, and how meek his foe's voice is. Looking closer, the boy's hands gripping the sword have melded with the hilt. He must have done something to secure the sword, but by doing that, he would directly feel the impact from the sword. He's bloody, if he takes a single step back, he'll pitch over. The boys accepted that each swing of his sword will be hellish suffering. It irritated the man, but he takes it. It seems to offend a stubbornly persistent enemy. But he's just as irritated with himself for not backing down when he knows that even one step back would end this. But how could he retreat now? There's no room for parley now. And he's in the pitched duel with his enemy. It would be shameful to turn his back on that childishly forged sword. And it would be utterly humiliating not to meet his attacks head on. All it would take for his enemy to destroy himself is for the man to retreat one step. But he senses that he'll have conceded something decisive if he backs down now. Soon this worry will fade. His enemy is at his limits. 3 more attacks. If he repels just 3 attacks, then his enemy will destroy himself. He clicks his tongue at his own foolishness. Just earlier he thought the boy had 2 attacks left, then he delivered more than 10. The boy isn't going to fall. The boy's voice is inaudible. The boy who's on the brink of death frantically goes up against the obstacle before him. And then he sees him. He looks upon him with his own eyes for the first time. I keep swinging my sword until I reach my foe, with arms ready to fall off. The only thing that can be heard is a strained yell. Mistake! Is that shy as the price I pay for each exchange of blows? There are people who weren't saved, and myself who wasn't saved. The memories come unbidden, and I swore that I'd never let this happen again.
Not a mistake! How many years have passed? There were things that were lost. Things I lost. There will always be things that I forget and fail to pick up. That's why I made a note that I won't forget. To become a hero of justice. To always do what's right. Even if it isn't my own wish. Even if it's just a way to lighten my own sins, I'll keep that oath. I'll make the dream come true. When I was young, someone saved me, entrusted me with his dream, and passed away alone. I believed in the wish behind his words. Even if the whole world shuns me, and the oath turns out to be a curse, I won't give it up. And then, the man realized that there's no end to this repeating conflict. The enemy will not stop. The enemy will not stop on his own. His enemy makes each attack with desperate abandon, and he isn't even aware of who is fighting. The boy is trying to cut down himself. He is the one who is doing the obstructing. The man's enemy is swinging his sword for everything he's believed in, and everything he'll continue to believe in. Realizing that, the man gnashes his teeth. He sees the boy keep fighting. He knows he can't win, even if he knows there's no point. That is the exact mistake the man once made. So why? Why does he want to see how far this boy will go? It's enough! Die! He raises his longsword. The enemy's attack can no longer be trifled with. He repels the attacks and counters with a strike meant to crush the enemy's skull in certainty. The high-pitched sound of metal. The boy repels what should have been a decisive blow. He couldn't even stop one attack until now, but he easily defended against a strike delivered with the man's full might. He holds his breath. The enemy flicked his sword and resheathed it in a single large stance. But his eyes, they're looking straight at him. The impact breaks one of my limbs. My sense of pain isn't numb at all. The pain is enough to knock me out, but I push through it with sheer rage. I'm dehydrated. I can't afford to lose any more liquid. The enemy's left arm is wide open. I've lost one side of my body, so this will have to be the last blow. But that thought doesn't enter my head. All I can think is... He slashes with the longsword in an effort to protect his exposed left chest. He can make it. It would be easy to close the distance. This is my last chance. It wasn't a mistake! That's the only thought on my mind. Even if Shiro Emiya is fake, this is real. He wants everyone to be happy. It's an ideal that everyone's felt, I'm sure. So I won't take it back. Because this dream will always be. His gaze is straight. Mistakes and lies. He shakes off everything that pierces him. And he continues to run without stopping. It was never a mistake! The words drive straight into his chest. The attack comes, fueled by hell-bent determination. There's enough time to block it. But the gears never turn in his head, and the battle draws to an abrupt close. Stab. He hears the sound of the blade piercing his chest. The surprised one is, of course, the Red Knight. The boy bet everything on a desperate attack, so he would expect it to defeat his opponent. He couldn't afford to make any other choice anyway. So it is the knight who is surprised. Truly. He wonders why he didn't defend against an attack that would have been easy to stop. I'm about to collapse, so I lean on my good right leg. I drove Kansho into Archer's chest. Why, Archer? Has she been watching the whole time? Saber asks a question from the entrance of the hall. Archer doesn't answer. Maybe he feels that he doesn't need to, or maybe he doesn't have an answer for her. My fingers feel numb. My broken fingers tells me they can't hold the sword anymore. The Red Knight doesn't move. I might have stabbed him through the chest, but he's a servant, so he could easily counterattack. But his arms remain at his sides and show no sign of movement. I know what that means, of course. I win, Archer. I fix my gaze on him and declare victory. The Red Knight closes his eyes once and admits. Yes. And I lose. He stares into the distance. His murmur sounds like it was meant to convince himself. I pull out the sword. The moment my projected sword touches the air, it disperses into dust as if it never existed. I finally look around, my tension drained. What a wreck. My lacerations look like they're on the mend, but in some places they're turning into a reddish black color. Archer said something about it being saber sheath, but I wonder how it decides what to heal first. It heals the cuts right away, but broken bones seem to be a lower priority. Oh. I hear hurried footsteps coming from the west side of the hall, in the direction Lancer disappeared off to. Someone's coming. She appears on the second-story terrace, jumps down to the hall floor without hesitating and hugs herself in the pain of the fall. Shira, are you Wait, Archer! Why are you all beat up? Tosaka raises her voice to match the distress with which she arrived. Lancer rescued her just as promised. Plus, I'm honestly amazed to see Tosaka alive and well. She can't decide if she wants to check if I'm okay, or be upset at Archer for getting injured. You truly are naive. If only you'd been a slightly more ruthless person, I wouldn't have gone back to being my old self. The Red Knight's words are sarcastic, but I can only hear warmth behind them. After giving Tosaka a look, he turns on his heel as if to leave the stage. Anyway, the matter is settled. Now that I've accepted you, the hero Emiya can't stay here any longer. The loser should depart quickly. He isn't even going to say goodbye to Tosaka? He's heavily wounded and he doesn't have a master. Is he going to disappear here and return to where the other heroic spirits come? It all happened in an instant. A lethal attack just as I began to relax around Tosaka. Multiple swords rain down. The torrent of blades come down to skewer me as I stand around spacing out. I hit the ground. Someone pushes me, and I fall backwards onto some rubble. I was shoved about a meter away. From where I am, I can only watch. Okay. Archer did not betray him, alright? Archer did not sneak attack, alright? I don't think Archer would sneak attack. Maybe he would. This is a desperate situation, you know? In a situation like this is a very serious situation. He's probably really desperate. He really wants to die, so so it's a possibility. I can't understand why he would, so it's a possibility. But I don't think he did. It showed us red. But I think it was actually Gilgamesh who did that. And Archer saved us. Archer pushed us out the way, and Gilgamesh threw his swords. Because, and of course in Shiro's eyes, we're gonna assume that was Archer. Because we haven't seen Gilgamesh use that move. No, we have. But we probably didn't know Gilgamesh was here. So of course we'd immediately assume it was Archer. From where I am, I can only watch. I knew it. My broken limbs can't support my body, and I'm too weak to even stand up. Instead, all I can do is watch another version of me get skewered before my very eyes. Who's there? Saber's challenge breaks the silence. Her voice is directed at the second floor, at the top of the broken stairs. I rather enjoyed that. It was a truly pathetic fight between two fakes. Archer! It's been 10 long years, Saber. I meant to come see you sooner, but plans changed. Unforeseen actions kept popping up, you see, and they threw off my calculations. It's Gilgamesh, the servant who defeated Berserker and killed Ilya. He ignores Saber's glare and looks down at me and Archer. Do you want to understand the weight of the genuine article now? No matter how similar in appearance and strength it might be, a forgery is a forgery, and can never reach the brilliance of the original. He raises a hand, as if about to command an army. The mere sight of a fake's counterfeit offends my sight. You scum. You lack even a single genuine work in your whore. Fakers who can only copy the work of others should be disposed of like the trash you are. He unleashes countless noble phantasms into the hall. An unavoidable torrent falls on us. I count just under 30 noble phantasms. Even if I was still in one piece, there's nothing I could do to defend myself against this assault. Dust fills the air. The hall collapses even further, rocked by explosions. In the middle of it all, I see him. A fluttering red cloak. He runs toward me looking like a pincushion and gives me another shove. I watch his red figure fade into the distance. His eyes convey a firm message. You defeat him. He tells me that since he lost to me, and I'm going to become a hero of justice, this is a villain I have to defeat. A cloud of dust blocks out my vision. The red cloak sinks into the rubble. I'm sure I saw him before he left. His confident eyes declare, this servant is no match for us. It won't be Saber or Tosaka who defeats him. My other self tells me that Shiro Emiya is the Golden Servant's natural enemy. My vision clears up. A layer of dust settles over the hall, now covered in a new layer of rubble. Nothing else happens. The Red Knight disappeared after he was buried under the rubble. What a surprise, Archer. So you still had enough in you to protect someone with those wounds. His tone is filled with derision and irony. The man's lips curl into a smirk. He looks down at Archer's bloody remains. Silence falls. Gilgamesh is the strongest being in this place right now. One wrong move and we'll all follow Archer. Saber's lips are tightly sealed. She's waiting for a chance to face the enemy. However, who gave you permission to touch my Archer? Tosaka loses her temper after losing Archer. Light flies through the air. Tosaka charges the jewel with as much energy as she can, and fires pure destructive energy without any modifications. Gilgamesh doesn't even try to dodge it. The attack doesn't leave a scratch on him. I was going to finish off the stubborn survivor first, but you've changed my priorities, woman. The swords floating behind him sentence Tosaka to death. They hurtle toward her at high speed, but Saber arrives even faster to deflect them, protecting her master. Get back, Rin. This man is dangerous. He'll kill you if you attack him. Oh, so that girl is your master now. Very well. I will pardon your imprudence. It would hurt my entertainment to lose Saber now. Saber just glares up at our enemy, her invisible sword at the ready. Okay, but she has Tosaka, no? She legit should just be the strongest motherfucker. Gilgamesh should not be able to match up to Saber now. I mean, I'm sure they're closer to even, but I'm sure Saber should be stronger than him now. What are you doing here, Archer? You were summoned to the previous Holy Grail War. How are you still in the mortal world? It's very simple. I stayed behind after the last war ended. What? That's impossible. Servants lose their connection to this world once the Holy Grail disappears. You couldn't have remained for 10 whole years. Not necessarily. To begin with, our anchor to this world isn't the Holy Grail, but our masters. The Grail is no more than the path we take to get here. Once it's gone, we can stay in this world if a mage supplies us with magical energy. Of course, no magic can sustain a servant without the support of the Holy Grail. On this point, my vessel did lack magical energy. Regardless, you couldn't have stayed. If your master couldn't support you, then you would have been exhausted along with your summoner. There are ways. Some mages can make up for their lack of magic circuits with knowledge. On that note, my master happened to be a particularly enterprising man. Past tense. So his master is no longer alive. No, Shinji was his master. The fact that the ungovernable Gilgamesh was following Shinji's orders was proof enough of that. Then is your master the same person Ryder was contracted to? Yes. If he can't supply me with energy, then I just take it from others, of course. But as it turned out, I didn't even need to bother. I was the only servant to bathe in the Holy Grail. 10 years ago, I was incarnated in a flesh and blood body that allowed me to remain in this era. Saber stares at him in shock. The mention of 10 years ago seems to pain her. That's right. It was all thanks to you, Saber. I know better than anyone what that thing is. After all, I was submerged into its depths and saw what was inside of it. So back then you... Yes. I understood the true nature of the Holy Grail. And that is when I decided that I should be the only one to handle it. He speaks to Saber. No, the Golden Service decree is directed at all of us. You'll use the Holy Grail. I will. I have no obligation to share with the parasites such as the Masters. I will use the Holy Grail for my own purposes. The greatest obstacle, my summoner, is gone now. He left behind a mage unfit to be a vessel. That failure is quite suitable for my wish. With your flesh, of course, I might be able to make a more complete Holy Grail. The man eyes Tosaka. Tosaka shrinks away and goes a little pale, realizing how dangerous he is. His red eyes are ominous beyond comparison. Anyone would feel intensely uncomfortable under their gaze. His eyes are so bizarre that they scare even the unflappable Tosaka. It can't be. Masters acquired the Holy Grail. We servants work with Masters because we cannot obtain it ourselves. That's the strange thing about it, you see. Why is it that only Masters can obtain the Holy Grail, when only servants can touch it? But it's all a farce. 7 Masters fighting over the Holy Grail. Only the last surviving Master performs the ritual to obtain it. That's all a pretext to hide the truth. The Holy Grail has already been summoned. Every time, the mages prepared and then summoned 7 servants. Do you understand yet, King of Knights? What they need is not the Holy Grail, but something to fill it with. The Masters are only a conduit to summon us. The mages who created this ritual couldn't supply the contents of the Holy Grail. Didn't I just say earlier? They couldn't provide the energy on their own, so they must take it from others? They need magical energy of the highest purity to fill the Holy Grail. So they sought the most powerful souls of the prime species, also known as Guardians. It seems that the 7 servants were always meant to be sacrifices to the Holy Grail. Saber stares at him in shock. Her eyes try to deny his words. It can't be true. The Holy Grail I sought can't be something this abhorrent. She seems to be telling herself. It's hardly something to be surprised about. The Holy Grail is a strainer for souls. It takes power which cannot be controlled, except by the owner of the soul, and converts it into pure magical energy. You could indeed grant a wish using that, but as far as mages are concerned, it's an inexhaustible source of magical energy. Thus, the more sacrifices there are, the better. One could well call it omnipotent, once it's been filled with the 6 servants. The Holy Grail has absorbed 5 servants. They just need one more to turn it into the omnipotent pot they desire. Then the Holy Grail can only be handled by masters. If it's meant to be a reserve of magical energy, then only mages can use it. But if one's master is a capable mage, then they can grant any wish for you. Such miracles are not granted to mere humans, you fool. It's the fate of the humans to destroy themselves, no matter how much power they wield. But don't worry, Saber. This Holy Grail is the real thing. Once 7 heroic spirits are incorporated into it, I guarantee it will reach the origin of all things. The origin of... Hold on. Are you saying that the Holy Grail is... I don't know who, but whoever first designed this scheme was unmistakably a genius worthy of the gods. Still, it has nothing to do with me. I have no interest in such things. I only care about its power as a gate. The Holy Grail is a gate. Recall, Saber, that 10 years ago, when I was one step from attaining the Holy Grail, you denied me my prize. You clove it into 2 with your sacred sword, and what spilled out set fire to the town. You stood directly under the Holy Grail and was submerged within its contents. That was when I learned its true nature. It is truly absurd, but it has its uses. Among my many weapons, none are as specialized at killing people as this. It can stay the way it is. I have no need for some all-powerful cauldron. A weapon? Do you say that because it can summon servants, Archer? Of course. We have always been weapons, but that thing has perfected that task. The Holy Grail is a gate to hell. Once opened, it will brim with the 5.6 million curses. Didn't Kodamine tell you? The name of the Holy Grail is Anramanyu, all the evil in the world. As its name suggests, it is an apocalyptic mud which consumes all humans. Anramanyu. If I recall correctly, that's the name of the devil from Zoroastrianism. It is said to be a ruler of evil who has been fighting the gods for thousands of years. It's depicted as an embodiment of all of humanity's malice, to be a reflection of humanity's goodwill. So why is the Holy Grail named after some ancient Persian demon? And your objective is to purge all humans, yes. Like Kodamine, I don't intend to cherish humanity. I only cherish beautiful things. This world is enjoyable, but it is unspeakably hideous. It is blasphemy for the king to be teeming masses of mongrels to be allowed to celebrate. It is blasphemy to the king for the teeming masses of mongrels to be allowed to celebrate their lives. I have no desire to rule over such a realm. Are you stupid? What blasphemy? It doesn't matter to a king whether one person dies or not. If they die, then that is for the best. If they are killed by their own sins, then their lives are not worth living to begin with. What I desire are not mongrels. Only those who can survive the depths of hell are worthy under my rule. That is what made last time a failure. The humans of the day are truly feeble if they died from a fire of that magnitude. His lips curve up in a smile. For the first time, He looks at me, one of the failures. I don't know what this Anra Manyu is, but is it not convenient? It is a sin that falls on all of mankind equally. It is a bottomless darkness created by humans which exists only to kill humans. A perfectly suitable hunting dog to delegate my work to. Gilgamesh raises an arm. Noble phantasms float at the ready behind him, awaiting his command. Now, let us pick up from 10 years ago. Last time we were interrupted by some mongrel trash. But we don't have to worry about that now. Of course. And even more vile, faker scum darkens the room now. All of the swords turn to point at me. I try to stand up, but my broken leg won't move the way I want it to. Crap. I can't even block a single one of those swords. Then why did Archer entrust his will to me? The swords disappear. The golden servant suddenly puts down his arm. He looks up at the ceiling with displeasure and brushes something off his shoulder. My clothes got dirty. You've escaped with your life today, boy. The castle's on fire. I don't know who set it alight, but it seems like a pretty intense blaze. The third floor is already surrounded by flames, and they've reached the second floor. No, that's not what I should be surprised about. He really decided not to fight because his clothes got dirty. Running away, Archer. I'm changing the location, Saber. I have the Holy Grail in hand. I prefer to settle things quickly. I'll promptly create a Holy Grail and open the hole to hell. His blonde hair flutters. Gilgamesh walks toward a terrace that isn't on fire. If you want to take it back, then hurry. However, this Holy Grail will be a rushed, effective product. If you don't come soon, it might spill out. His muffled laughter echoes. Then he leaves the burning castle. Sparks have started to dance around the great hall, and the ceiling is crumbling by the second. The formerly ornate castle doesn't resemble itself anymore. Its master gone. It crumbles away without a trace, as if to follow the pale girl. Damn. Damn it, Shinji? Shinji Mato wanders through the forest, his breathing ragged and bestial. He was headed in a concrete direction. To be clear, but his mental state is utterly lost. With no objective, all he can do is run. Wandering is the only appropriate word to describe his behavior. Shit! Just a little more! I was so close, but they all had to get in my way! He pushes tree branches aside with one arm, splashing through the mud. Shinji heads for the forest exit, his blood stains marking his trail. Of course, the shoulder wound Lancer gave him wasn't healed. He has already lost sensation in his right arm. His wound is red and inflamed, and his arm won't move, like a necrotized limb. He trips and stumbles into a tree. It must be difficult running with only one arm. His right arm hangs like dead weight. Then he realizes that a part of his body has become dead weight and starts to laugh. His laugh turns into a coughing fit. It hurts. He feels hot and feverish, perhaps due to the wound. His hazy mind imagines his arm rotting away. Then he starts to hallucinate about all the people around him also rotting away. Not just their arms. All those other idiots should know their place and be hurt even worse than he is. He can't stop laughing. The thought makes the pain slightly more bearable. He has a real purpose now. His first goal is to gather arms. He'll take arms from everyone, no exceptions. That's good. Now to decide on who first. The girl who wouldn't do what he said. She's the one that he likes the most, and he can't stand the thought of her looking prettier than him. Just you wait, Osaka. I'll make you lower than me. Shinji mumbles a laugh and looks up. That servant is standing in front of him. When did he get there? You. He stares at the servant. The golden servant looks down at Shinji. The way one might look at livestock. You're injured. It looks bad. That must hurt. His tone is utterly disinterested. Shinji's face distorts. He glares at the man in front of him, failing to realize what the servant's words might have implied. That must hurt. Whose fault do you think this is? Lancer did this to me because you're so stupid. You're not even good as a guard dog. You're not even good as a guard dog. How dare you talk to me this way? Shinji rages at the servant. The golden servant nods, unconcerned. The Lancer gave you that wound. Then he must have let that master go. Yeah, you got that right. So Saka got away because you're scum. I want to throw up just thinking about how the cockroach got me. I see. That's too bad. What are you trying to act all cool for? We need Tosaka to get the Holy Grail, don't we? Damn it, you ruined everything. Don't you get that? What are we gonna do? Settle down. The plan hasn't changed. I can still make the Holy Grail. The servant speaks emotionlessly. Shinji doesn't realize that the servant's red eyes aren't even looking at him. How? Kodamine said that we can't do anything unless we have a vessel. We need more than that kid's heart. It won't turn into a Holy Grail unless we're connected to quality magic circuits. Shinji approaches the servant and berates him for his incompetence. The golden servant nods again. Then there's no problem. We still have another master who can serve as the Holy Grail right here. Then he casually thrusts his arms out. Squish. Shinji doesn't realize what the noise was until the very end. His stomach feels strange. When he looks down, he sees a servant's arm. The fist embedded in his body. It doesn't hurt, nor is there any blood. The servant's arm sinks deep into his stomach, as if it's performing some outlandish spiritual surgery. You desire the Holy Grail. Then I'll give it to you. It's important, so don't let go of it again. Blood vessels swell. Wriggle, 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 wriggle. He feels something alien swarming and writhing inside him. And then he ceases to be Shinji Mato. Well, before we get into this, I just want to say, shut the fuck up, nigga! Damn! Hold on, bro. Honestly, I should have did this a long time ago. I don't know why it took me so long to do this. I genuinely don't know why it took me so long to do this. Where's that? Where's that? Yeah. Hold on. No, here it is right here. Mute. Shut the fuck up. I should have been did that. Really, I should have been done that. But I just want to say, y'all know I hate Gilgamesh, right? Y'all know I hate that nigga. Not as much as I hate Shinji, but y'all know I hate that nigga. Cause he was very fucking annoying in Fate Zero. But I gotta say, I really do gotta say, never in my life did I think I'd say this, but W Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, like, fucking thank you. W, my nigga. You finally got rid of this piece of shit. He convulses. There's just a swollen hunk of meat there now. It has no clear shape. It's made up of only naked muscles and blood vessels, Sudden growths of meat and short-lived decaying meat. Ow, it's growing! Ow, it hurts! It hurts! Growing! Help! Stop! Fucking bitch. This motherfucker getting Sayano-uda'd. His mind breaks, unable to withstand the discomfort of something wriggling inside him, and the pain of endless growth and decay. The servant watches for a while, and then departs as if nothing remarkable happened. So hideous. A powerful mage wouldn't have morphed like this, but I suppose there's no helping it. Chains extend out. The chains of the heavens. The chain of the heavens appears in midair and bind the infinitely expanding and rotting mass of flesh. Currently is teetering between growth and decay, but the Holy Grail should quickly learn how to abuse its post. Once that happens, the growth should greatly exceed the decay. At this rate, this Holy Grail will soon be complete. Bizarre, ugly foods taste better. And most of all, I'm sure you'll spit out the mud that I need, won't you, Shinji? The servant chortles. In his shadow, the mass of flesh repeats, "Help me!" in a no longer human voice. That might be my favorite interlude. Shiro, how's your injury? Oh, this. Right. It should be okay. I feel fine right now and I can still use my circuits. Is that so? Then I suppose it should be fine. She ends the conversation, but it seems something else is still on her mind. It's been an hour since we've returned. We both have something on our minds, but nothing is said. We don't have time to be glad that Tosaka is safer now, nor do we have the time to celebrate our reunion. We're still in a dire situation. The last servant, Gilgamesh. As long as he holds the Holy Grail, we have no choice but to fight him. We don't have a plan to break out of this predicament. The more we think about it, the more we're hit with the feeling of despair. Of course, we wouldn't have anything to say to each other. However, that's not the only reason we're silent. It's probably because this is the last. This will be the last time we're heading into battle. It doesn't matter what's the result, win or lose. What awaits us will be the same. The Holy Grail War will end here. After that, the three of us won't be able to talk like this again. Thinking back, we've only spent 10 short days together. We were thrust into one happening after another during these 10 days. So much so that we don't even have time to think about what happened yesterday. But it's not all bad memories during those 10 days. Now thinking back, there are irreplaceable memories I've made in these 10 days. And that's the reason we're not saying anything. We don't want to admit our time together is ending, and we're swallowing the words we don't want to say. Tosaka, Saber, and myself all have the answers in our heads. The reason we won't say it out loud is because we don't want to end what we had in the manner we have now. Fine, then I'll start. I'm going to avenge Archer. I know he was a terrible person who betrayed me, but he's also Shiro. Tosaka said so with determination in her voice. We'll face Gilgamesh. She has said it clearly that we will end this fight. What about you, Shiro? I'll have Saber join me no matter what. But since you're not a master anymore, I won't force you. And it seems that Goldie sees you as a thorn in his side. So if you were to join us in this fight, he would probably come after you first. Maybe she's being considerate. She's even giving me a reason to back out. But I have my answer already. I can't leave Gilgamesh alone. Also, I have a hunch that the Holy Grail he's trying to use is not something that should exist. But there's another reason why I can't back out. You will defeat him. He left behind those words and chose to keep me alive instead of himself. The same man whose existence is to deny Shiro Emiya. Now that I've made him admit defeat, there's only one path left for me to take. I'm going. I'm going to defeat him. I've already decided that I'll fight. If I don't keep my words until the end, I don't know what Archer would say about me next time. I see. If you already made up your mind, then I won't stop you. Thank you. Besides, I can't leave the Holy Grail alone. If the Holy Grail does exactly what Gilgamesh described, then it's better if we destroy it completely, so the same event doesn't happen again. Saber's been fighting for the sole purpose of gaining the Holy Grail. That hesitation and regret are not something that can be easily erased. Even then, I understand. If the Holy Grail is exactly how Gilgamesh described, that is something that should not exist in this world. She agrees to our plan by sacrificing her own wish. Alright. I stand up from the floor and start walking towards the kitchen. I reach for my equipment in the kitchen. I put on my apron and roll up my sleeves, getting ready for a different kind of battle. What is happening? Did you come up with a good idea? Huh? No, I was just thinking about cooking. You're both hungry, right? Annoying the dumbfounded too, I start making preparations for dinner. We came to a conclusion. Now we just need to go on with our day as usual. Let's eat dinner together, then we can go beat his ass afterwards. I take out the bowl and frying pan. I'll use up everything I have in the fridge. There's no need to hold back. We're going to have a feast. Yes, you're right. Let's enjoy our dinner as usual. That makes more sense for us. You're right. Then let me help you too. Oh, Saber, can you go prep the bath? The heavy atmosphere we had just moments ago is gone. The living room feels brighter and livelier. A night with the two of us together that will never come again. The three of us together that will never come again. But in order to make it feel like any other day, we do our best to make sure we can enjoy our dinner in the most lively way possible. You want to make me cry? And after we finish and clean up our Western and Japanese mixed style dinner, we resume our strategizing session. Rin, are you saying the Holy Grail is at Ryudo Temple? Yes, they've been eyeing the temple as a place to manifest the Grail. The Overseer placed a familiar there to counter Caster. But that thing was destroyed recently. Seeing as Goldie is holed up in that temple, I'm certain the Grail is there. Ryudo Temple, huh? That's a problem. You can only enter the temple from its front gate. Of course we can expect Gilgamesh to be waiting for us there. You're right, but I think on the flip side, we now know the exact location. Sure, Gilgamesh is trouble, but we should prioritize stopping the Grail. We'll have Saber slow him. We'll have Saber slow him now, and use that opportunity to destroy the Grail. That would be ideal. Wait, don't we need Saber to destroy the Holy Grail? We won't be able to even touch it. That's right. We won't be able to destroy the Grail once it's summoned, but we can destroy the Grail's vessel. To be precise, we're gonna stop the Grail before it's activated. What do you mean by stop the Grail? I don't really want to think about it, but if we sum up all the information we have right now, the Holy Grail is probably Ilias Veil's heart. Or rather, the Holy Grail is Ilias Veil's heart and her body, her magic circuits. Goldie doesn't want Ilias Veil to become the Holy Grail. That's why he only pulled out the organ that represents its core. If that's the case, in order for the Holy Grail to properly function, he's gonna need another mage's body to use as its vessel. There are only two masters left, including me.
If
I'm here, then there's only one more person left for him to choose as the Grail's foundation. Are you talking about Shinji? But if I remember correctly, you want to say he doesn't have any magic circuits, right? I don't think that matters too much. He wanted to create an incomplete Grail to begin with, so it makes sense for him to plant his core into an incomplete master. Even if their bloodline is fallen, anyone with the blood of Amato flowing in them still has traces of magic circuits left in their DNA. If a magical nuclear reactor like Iliasville is shoved into their body, even a once shut off circuit will be forced open. In that case, what we need to do first is separate Shinji from the Grail. I don't understand what it means to become the foundation for the Grail, but we must stop it if we can still make it. However, I do not believe Gilgamesh will let that happen. But in the end, defeating Gilgamesh does not automatically equate to stopping the Holy Grail. That's right. It's obvious that he's protecting the Grail, so we can't go anywhere until we do something about him first. Right. However, I'm pretty sure it's going to anticipate us at the gate. If Saber, our most powerful trump card, can only enter via the gate, it's only logical for him to think that's our only route of entry. That's what. I see. I will attack the gate by myself. Ren and Shiro will use the opportunity to enter the temple from the back. Ryudo Temple's bounded fields means little if there are two masters. Precisely. I know we have no choice but to rely on you, Saber. All you need to do is buy us some time by slowing him down, and we will rush to your side once we stop the Holy Grail. Wait, that's too reckless! Just Saber by herself is no match for that bastard. I don't think she'll be able to slow him down. Actually, I'm sure of it. What? What the hell, Shiro? You're sure giving him a lot of credit. I agree. He is indeed a powerful opponent, but if I focus on my defense, it's not easy for him to defeat me. Shiro, I want you to tell me your reason behind that statement. Oh, well, that's not what I'm trying to say. From what I saw, Saber is definitely more powerful than him. I know that for sure. I'm even willing to bet on it. That makes no sense. That's not what you said earlier. What I'm saying is that Saber's no match for him as a heroic spirit. How do I put this? First, if he only has the same type of noble phantasm as Saber, then Saber definitely won't lose. We're not talking about their differences in sword-wielding skills. What makes Gilgamesh powerful isn't his strength as a singular entity. No matter how strong a soldier is, they're no match against the destructive might of the war itself. That's the kind of servant he is. If you don't stand against him with the equal scale of force, he'll just swallow you whole. So he's the absolute worst matchup for me. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, that's what I meant. That's why Tosaka, you can't just send Saber in there without any sort of countermeasure. Unless we find some kind of weakness, there's no way Saber can win. I know that, you don't have to remind me. That's why I'm here trying to think of something, isn't it? Rin, do you have a good plan? Listen, I can't just think of something on the spot like that. Like what Shiro said, his noble phantasm represents war itself. In war, victory and defeat are decided by how much military strength each side is able to gather. It's not about mastery of weaponry, but rather how well you can match your opponent's military might. What is it, Tosaka? Why did you go quiet all of a sudden? I see now. That's why he sees you as a thorn on his side. Of course. If a heroic spirit doesn't possess a noble phantasm, it means they don't have a weapon that originated from somewhere. Wait, I get it! Rin, what's wrong? Why are you behind me right now? Nothing. I need to think for a bit here. The two of you just go ahead and talk about whatever. Huh? Saber and I look at each other. Well, if Tosaka has an idea, then it's better we leave her alone. So, I should avoid direct confrontation with Archer by myself. Is that what you're saying? But I have Ren's backup. As long as I have her magical energy, I will be able to use my seal Noble Phantasm without any issue. In that case, I have the possibility of defeating him before he gets a chance to use his Noble Phantasm. Saber's Noble Phantasm? Isn't that invisible air? No, it's not. Invisible air is simply a scabbard. As long as Ren wishes so, I can unsheath my true sacred sword. I used the same sword to destroy the Holy Grail in the last war. Tosaka in the background. I see. So Tosaka ultimately has to decide whether to use it or not. Correct. If I were to use a sacred sword, I would cast burden not only upon myself but Ren as well, as it uses the majority of her magical energy. You heard it, Tosaka. How much more magical energy can you spare? How much magical energy? How come you know exactly what I'm thinking? Huh? Nothing. I told you to leave me alone. I know about Saber's Noble Phantasm. To be frank, Saber and I can only use her Noble Phantasm twice. We'll use it once to destroy the Holy Grail. So if you use it against Gilgamesh, then you can only use it once. Well, Saber, that's what Tosaka said, but what do you think? I am not sure. If Archer truly possesses any and non-noble phantasms there are, then he must have something that can contend with my sword. Then when it'll come down to whose noble phantasm is truly superior. So in the end, it's still gonna end up a competition of noble phantasms. If it ends up like that, Gilgamesh will have the upper hand. Won't let Saber walk into a reckless fight like that, but... Damn it, I can't put my thoughts together. By the way, what the fuck is Tosaka doing? She's been acting weird. I say that because she's looking in my direction and quickly looking away. Hey, Tosaka! If something's on your mind, then say it. I'm sure you have an idea to. No, I don't! It's not like I can tell you that right here, you idiot! I don't understand what made her say something like that. They quickly look away as if something's weird on my face. Shiro? It's nothing. She's just weird. We'll leave her alone and keep thinking of something else. And so we're continuing our strategy meeting with just the two of us. Y'all think I'm gonna make it? Hold on. Fuck! But without Tosaka, the brain of our operation, we can't really think of an effective strategy to overcome a predicament. If we can't come up with anything, then I suppose our earlier idea will have to suffice. We will move out right before dawn. So go back to your room and make sure you get enough rest. Tosaka has unilaterally decided the direction for us. Time is passing by. The clock on the hand are about to signal a new day. Tosaka told me to at least take a nap, but I'm not really in any condition to fall asleep. In a few hours, we'll have to face that servant. If we move right before dawn, that means everything will be over by the time sun rises. There's no way I can stay still in a time like this. We already see it. You already know, I don't lie to y'all. So, I do know that visual novels, they kind of get to a point where you have to like, especially these older ones, you have to mix and match, like you have to do this and do that, make sure your affection points are up with this person and that person. I realized that this is probably the chapter before the finale. So I wanted to really just make certain that I was on the route to the good ending, right? So I looked up, I didn't look up any spoilers, I just looked up how to get the good ending, right? I'm going forward with this good ending, but if y'all want to see me get the other ending, then I want like, I don't know, 15 likes on this video. I don't usually do like goals like ever, but Throw 15 likes on this bitch. I got you. Go to the dojo and check on Saber. I don't remember. I don't remember if it said 4 points or more than 4 points. I don't remember which one it said. So I'm gonna just go on and get this 5th one. Let's go talk to Saber. Even if we defeat Gilgamesh, Saber will still be gone once this fight is over. Yeah, that's true. That is true, man. Oh my goodness. Saber will destroy the Holy Grail with her own hands and release herself from her duty as a servant. When that moment comes, I won't be able to see her anymore. Will this be our last conversation? Before we head into our final battle, I want to make sure we've left something behind, something tangible behind for the two of us. Damn. Shiro, did something happen to make you come here? Well, nothing really happened. I just wanted to see your face. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm interfering with something. Maybe you were trying to concentrate before the big fight. What? No, nothing of the sort. I also wanted to see your face, so I'm happy that you're here. I thought you would have gone to Ren's room for sure. Why would I go to Tosaka's room? It's not like she called me to her room or anything. You're right. It seems that my assumption was off. Please, forget about what I said. Maybe it was unnecessary, but I just thought maybe that would be for the best or something like that. Awkward ass. Saber's acting even more weird. Not sure why, but I feel like her face will get infinitely redder if I leave her be, so I decide to ask. What's wrong, Saber? You're acting weird right now. Did something happen? Nothing weird happened. I was simply trying to rest and get ready for the fight ahead of us. I could ask you the same thing. Are you not planning to sleep for a bit and be in the best possible condition before we head to Ryudo Temple? When she puts it like that, it's really hard to say directly to her face that I just wanted to spend time with her. If I can't say that, I can't really sleep, so I was thinking if I'm up already, I might as well come here get a cup of tea with you. I mean, Tosaka seems kind of busy anyway. I didn't really think too much and just told her how I felt. Tea, you say? But we're about to go face the King of Heroes in just a few hours. Yeah. Figure we're probably both too tense to properly rest. Spend some time with me, Saber. I'll treat you to the best tea I have. You're right. I would be glad to spend time with you, Shiro. Then we must strike while the iron is hot. Strike the iron while it's hot. I head back to the kitchen and brew a pot of the Chinese tea that I brought for this occasion, thinking I'll treat Saber to it. Then, in the end, we both enjoyed the tea together and nothing else happened. We didn't strike up a conversation, not even a short exchange of phrases. We simply sat there and stared at the dojo. It was a short few days, but we've exchanged quality time here. I think this while staring at the wooden floor. Shiro, you should go find Ren. Knowing her, she's probably already come up with something new. Yeah, maybe. I'll go if you say so. I stand up and leave the dojo. Well then, Shiro. See you soon. Let me go check up on that angry master of yours. I leave the dojo as Saber says goodbye to me. In the end, that was our last time spent together. Nothing tangible was left behind between us. There was neither promises nor warmth that was smearing on my memory. I couldn't create a single sign to remind me that Saber was indeed here. But I have a feeling perhaps that's for the best. Whatever's left behind will eventually end up being a fading memory. That's why I'll make sure I keep the memories of the simple times we spent together close to my heart. Y'all know I fucking hate goodbyes, bro. Like, in games, in stories, and games and shit, I hate goodbyes. I almost cried at the end of Persona 4. Like, anything where characters have to say goodbye to each other, whether it's forever or for an amount of time, Like, that will always fuck with me, bro. Always, that will always fuck with me. Hey, Tosaka, are you awake? I knock on the door. I am awake. What about you? You don't need to sleep? It looks like you were spending some quality time with Saber at the dojo. Oh, I didn't know you were watching us. That makes sense though. You can see the dojo clearly from your room. In that case, you should have come down to the dojo. If you were awake, the three of us could have had some tea together. Whatever. Really didn't think that would work out. Anyway, just come in. I was thinking about going to find you guys to talk about something. She seems kind of irritated at something. Got it, thanks. Still wondering what she's thinking, I enter the room and slowly close the door behind me. Aren't you confident? What were you doing with Saber? Whoa, hold on. She glares at me as soon as we see each other. Nothing really. We were just drinking tea. We have a big battle coming up, so we shouldn't be sparring. I can't just waste my energy after all. Waste your energy? Of course, you really can't afford to waste your energy. Huh? Why did you get all quiet all of a sudden? Tosaka, are you in a really bad mood right now? I already know this is what she's gonna say, but it doesn't hurt to ask. What do you think? She'd obviously yell at me, but I really am curious, so I end up asking her anyway. However, never mind. It's not like I'm actually mad at you. Well, now she's making me even more confused. Tosaka, do you have a fever or something? No, I don't! Oh, will you just sit down already? I'm thinking something to do with Gilgamesh that you can't think of anything by yourself! You dumb fucking bitch! Tosaka drags me into the room and locks the door. Then she slowly moves back into the room. Oh no! Anyway, I start to move toward the center of the room. Facing towards Tosaka, I sit down across from her. And somehow we're both not saying a word. This feels awkward. Tosaka, about Gilgamesh. I know. You're gonna tell me you don't want to have Saber fight him, right? Really considerate of her. Hold on, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm simply saying that Gilgamesh is a bad match for Saber. We should rethink our formation, that's all. If Saber's defeated and no one is left to slow him down, Tosaka would be next. I see. Well, how do you propose we change our formation? I'm not going up against Goldie. He's taking advantage of his treasury and his anti-magecraft armor on. He's a bad match for Saber, but an even worse match for me. Same for you. She's right. But I just can't forget those eyes. What Archer's gaze was trying to tell me. That golden servant. Only Shiro Emiya can go up against Gilgamesh. Tosaka, promise me you won't get mad. But I'm thinking that maybe I should. Take on Gilgamesh, right? I'm surprised, so you did notice. The only thing that could counter Gilgamesh's noble phantasm is Archer's magecraft. My jaw drops. What do you mean, what? Don't tell me you were thinking of something crazy like that without even realizing the most important part. Well, I wouldn't say that. I didn't have concrete evidence, but I had a feeling that maybe I have the best chance against him. I see. I'm not sure who gave you that idea, but you weren't wrong about that. What makes Gilgamesh the most powerful servant is a number of his noble phantasms. But following the same line of thought, whoever possesses the same amount of noble phantasms could potentially go up against him. Same amount. Basically, I just need to copy every single one of his weapons as soon as he unleashes them. That's right. I know he mocks you and calls you two fakers, but I'm sure that's just because he sees you two as threats. He has no choice but to admit that heroic spirit Emiya gets to fight him on the same ground. That's true, but maybe that's the case, but there's a limit. He can tell that as soon as I project one of Archer's swords, there's no way I can project fast enough. I don't have enough magical energy to do so. That's only if your magecraft stays the same as before. But you do remember what Archer's noble phantasm is, right? That magecraft. As long as you can master that reality marble, you have a chance against Gilgamesh, that domain expansion. Tosaka stares at me with high expectations. Unfortunately, I can't answer her expectations. No way. Reality marble is forbidden even amongst the most dangerous spells, right? Besides, I don't know how to do it. And I don't even have a fraction of the magical energy needed when Archer created his world. I know, it'd be difficult. However, you should already know how to do it. That's because your magecraft all originates from it. Whether it's strengthening or projection, it's all just a byproduct of your reality marble. As long as you have enough magical energy, I'm sure even you'll be surprised at how gears just fall into place by themselves. Even if that's the case, it doesn't change the impossible. I don't have the magical energy to put up and sustain the reality marble. I'm sure Archer spent his lifetime strengthening his magic circuits, but I don't have what he has. I understand. But Gilgamesh said so too, remember? A true mage would compensate for what's lacking in themselves from somewhere from elsewhere. Listen to me. I'm not skilled enough to try to siphon magical energy from other places. I don't even know how to store my magical energy in the gems like you. Wait, are you asking me to use those gems? Of course I don't think she'll agree to that, seeing that I don't have any training in magecraft to utilize those gems. If that worked, I would have given you the gems already. Besides, only I'm capable of transferring those gems into energy, so no, that wouldn't work. But maybe that's our only approach. There are a lot of steps we have to take in order to make someone else's magical energy your own. But I think that's the only option we're left with considering our situation. Tosaka, you mind sharing what's on your mind? I can't help if you don't tell me what's going on. What? There's no way I can tell you about something like that! Huh. It seems she's thinking about something that's hard to tell me. It's nothing. There are a couple of options, but I simply went through the process of elimination and got rid of the ones with a low chance of success. Is that so? Then does that mean you have a good plan now? Well, to be honest, this is the problem between me and you. There's a way to connect two mages' pools of magical energy together to make this work. So it would be like creating a path for the magical energy to pass through between us. Hold on, stop. Even if you don't have a... I can't believe I just sat there and did that shit. Editing Z, cut that shit out. This dumbass nigga. This dumbass nigga. Right. Even if you don't have enough magical energy for your reality marble, I do. You will use my magical energy to fight Gilgamesh, and Saber and I will destroy the Holy Grail during that time. I have Saber with me, so we should be okay on our end if I'm short on some magical energy. If I can use my reality marble to hold Gilgamesh back without any other servants or masters, the Holy Grail is left wide open. Tosaka being a mage and having Saber by his side, our chance of success is high enough. But that brings another issue. The hard part is a step before that. I don't know how to create a path for magical energy to pass through. That much I'm aware. It'll be up to me to think of a way. Tosaka's thinking of something. We should have to look optimistic about it. About creating a path, there are only a handful of methods that are immediate and can allow magical energy to pass through. The most effective would be to transplant our magic circuits into each other. Magic circuits are secondary pseudo-nerves that are said to define a mage. Using Ode to exert influence on mana, the core mechanism of a mage. It's a living inheritance. to make sure one's bloodline can have the foundation necessary to realize their family's great work when they've reached the pinnacle. You can say it's like one's blood and bone that strengthen as time goes on.
魔術回路って
Magic circuits, like the ones in you and me?
そう
Yes. If we transplant our essences as mages to each other, it would guarantee a path. There's no easier way to transfer your magical energy to someone else when you have part of their circuit as your own. Her explanation is short and simple, but yet contains a sense of guilt. Of course it would. I can't even begin to imagine the consequences of doing something as crazy as transplanting your magic circuits into someone else. For a person to offer their own magic circuits to be transplanted, it also means they're giving up their integrity as a mage. But that makes it easier. Alright, I'll give you my magic circuits. What, Tosaka? I'm happy that you think that, but that's meaningless. Right in my face. She just ends up throwing my resolve right back in my face. Why? Look, the reason we're even talking about all this is so we can use your reality marble, right? Then why would we want to weaken your circuit? Using the reality marble is only possible when we fully exert all our magic circuits. I see. And I'm the one who will use a reality marble. I will only barely be able to create a fantasy big enough to corrode the world itself when I fully exert my magic circuits. If I were to transplant some of my magic circuits into Tosaka to create a path, then I wouldn't have enough circuits to perform my magecraft, which would defeat the purpose. Got it? That would be like spending all this effort to just make us weaker, Shiro. I'm sorry, I didn't think that far ahead. It's okay, no need to apologize. I thought you would come up with something like that. I didn't expect you would say it so quickly though. So we transplant your magic circuits into me. But that also means it's true that instead of transplanting your circuits into me, the reverse would better secure our chances. However, I'm the one performing the ritual for the transplant. Taking part of the circuit away, while using it can't guarantee the stability of the ritual itself. My mind would be more at ease if this was standardized like the rituals performed to form contact with our familiars. But creating a path of magical energy between two mages is not something that happens every day. So this could end up bad for the both of us. Right. I can't take your magic circuit, and unfortunately me giving you my magic circuit is also incorrect. And that's why I'm gonna transplant my magic crest into you. Magic crest. It records the secrets and hidden arts of a mage's family. It's their history. If magic circuits are the blood and bones of a mage, then you can say the crest is their muscle. A magic crest is magecraft taking form. Through the life work of the mage leading the family in that generation, what was supposed to be formless is then given form. It is the proof of a mage's existence. Tosaka, having inherited her family's crest, she gets to enact the magecraft that this generation's family had created. Wait, but that means it's much easier to give a magic crest to someone. Unlike magic circuits, crests are meant to be given to others. Well, while it doesn't define me as much as my magic circuits do, the crest is still created by the Tosaka family, so it should suffice for our purpose. Are you sure? I'm sure. Well, the magecraft that was crystallized with the crest would probably be rendered useless, but I can at least turn that into a receiver for magical energy. Or are you talking about the success rate? Like, is it possible to transplant the magic crest to someone outside my family's bloodline? Yeah, that part worries me too, but don't worry, leave it to me. I'll back you up. And we'll get that holy grail with you, me and Saber, the three of us. That's right. We already made up our minds. I'll overcome the biggest failure with everything I've got. She asserts confidently with a bright smile. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Removing her magic crest. That's the same as delaying her family's ultimate wish with their own hands. I've seen that so many times. The fact that she could overcome that truth with a simple smile and with such determination is her strength. And I've seen it so many times. What? Why are you smiling like that? Is something weird on my face? What? Oh, right. It's the same as when we went to the church. I don't know how to put it, but it's hard to know. It's hard to know what to like about you. That's rude. That reminds me, was my face weird at that time? The fated night when I summoned Saber. Tosaka looked seriously worried about me. Someone who is just her enemy. When I got sick at the church. I'll never forget how much that expression saved me. I can't say too much about others, but Tosaka was a really nice person. Probably nicer than anyone I've ever met. Well, yeah, it was weird. At the time, I only thought of you as a goody two-shoes at school, so I didn't think you would make a face like that. Whatever, that's right. I'm just a woman who's cold as an iceberg. Sorry I couldn't make it more obvious than before. Yes, but I've been saved by her. She's kind yet realistic, and has the heart of steel, is willing to discard her weakness at a moment's notice. She hides her hesitation and troubles in her heart, and always shows the elegant side of her to everyone, treading forward on her own path with grace. And it's fine what you think about me, but why are you still staring at me? What? Oh, I suppose I was captivated by you. I know it might be too late, but maybe I fell for you because of your charm. Then I can't lose. She's willing to transplant her magical crest to me without hesitation and regret. I must repay her kindness with my own trust. What do you mean you fell for me? Now's not the time for that. But at least I can hear what else you want to say. Tosaka's readying herself. I'm glad. It seems she's prepared and has noticed my resolve. I understand. We're short on time, so we probably shouldn't waste time on small talk, right? Come on, let's start the transplant. Specifically, what am I supposed to do, Tosaka? This nigga. Her mouth is wide open. That's weird. Did I just say something funny? She's finna beat the shit out of you. What is it now? Did you just think of something we should be worried about? I'd beat the shit out of you too. For example, some kind of jinx that prevents us from performing the ritual at a certain time of day? Nothing. Just having a headache right now. Thought I should be used to it by now, but I underestimated how bad you are with timing. It's fine, it's not the first time you've been like this. What you said, well, wasn't exactly bad, so I'll let you off the hook for now. She swings her body and turns away from me. And then she starts to take various items out of her bag. Here, take this. Just think of it as a painkiller. Okay. I put the lozenge in my mouth. Tosaka turns off the light in the room and starts to draw some kind of pattern on the floor. About 5 minutes have passed. After the preparation is complete, Tosaka sits down on the bed. Okay, Tosaka, what am I supposed to do now? It doesn't seem like she didn't hear my question. But Tosaka's having a strange, troubled look on her face. What's going on? Is this something you can't tell me? I'm prepared for anything, so it won't faze me unless it's something really surprising. That's what I meant by trust. Tosaka nods her head. Fine. It's hard for me to say this, but just take off your clothes. With nervousness in her tone, she issued me a command I'm not used to. Let's assess the situation. The lights are off. Tosaka is sitting on the bed with her head down, clearly nervous. Why am I only realizing this now? Tosaka's soft-looking body, her supple legs dangling above the floor, are all making her look very seductive. And She's asking me to take off my clothes. Well, if you insist. Hell yeah. Let me put my shit back on. I'm not fit enough to record shirtless. Let me put this shit back on. Y'all know I don't want to see that bird chest, nigga. I don't want to see that bird chest. She's asking me to take off my clothes. Hey, you there! Don't get the wrong idea. I'm just telling you to take off your clothes. I'm also gonna take my clothes off, so it's fair. I took my weird fantasy back after she yelled at me. Wait, are you taking your clothes off too? I don't know how else to interpret what she said other than taking it as exactly what it is. I told you not to twist my words. I asked you to take off your clothes so we can sense each other's body warmth directly, nothing else. Listen, we must highly synchronize our senses in order to perform the magic crest transplant. In order for that to happen, we have to get rid of as much interference as possible. Okay, that makes sense. Of course. I'm not sure what transplanting a magic crest actually looks like, but from the sound of it, it could be similar to a medical transplant. I guess you wouldn't operate on a patient when they're fully clothed. You could just told me from the beginning. I just need to take the top off, right? Take the top off the Maybach. Of course. I'll throw the heater at you if you dare take your pants off. It's scary thinking what she might actually do. Taking off my top. I have had her take care of my injuries a few times already. Annoying ass fucking camera. Taking off my top. I have had her take care of my injuries a few times already, but it still feels a little embarrassing. I can hear Tosaka taking a deep breath in the dark. Okay. Now for the next step, Shiro. Turn around. Right, I forgot you have to take your clothes off too. No answer. Taking her silence as affirmation, I quietly turn around. As I turn my back towards her, I take a deep breath to calm myself. I'm going to receive her magic crest and create a path between us. Her magical energy will pass through it and allow me to activate the reality marble in order to defeat that servant. This is simply a process in this long and dangerous fight. I should be able to suppress unnecessary thoughts by just reaffirming that fact to myself. You can turn around now, Shiro. My heart skips a beat. I turn around slowly and face Tosaka. I let out a sound. It might seem rude, but I'm troubled by what I'm seeing. Say, Tosaka, why are you taking off your clothes so reluctantly? Tosaka is taking off some clothes. But from the way she removed them, I don't feel any resolve in her. What? Do you have a problem with me? Not really. A problem per se. But it's not symmetrical. Basically, I took off everything I was wearing on top, but you've only taken off that much clothing. The ratio just doesn't match. It's gotta be relatively the same between us. Take that shirt off. Fine, I'll take off my leggings as well. Jeez, he's more of a maniac than I thought. I should have pressed further on what we were talking about. It's fine. You're the one performing the ritual, so as long as the ritual can be successful, I won't complain. I mean, the ritual would be more difficult when we have more clothes on. But it's just a waste if I show you everything now. Tosaka's murmuring to herself. Fortunately, it's taking everything in me to keep calm. So I don't have any energy left to argue with Tosaka. You didn't repeat what she just said? Show you everything now? That means she plans to show you everything later! Fine then, Shiro. Turn around again. She whispers to me, and I turn around immediately. This time the sound of Tosaka's clothes rustling lasts a little longer than before. Once again, I remind myself that this is a serious ritual. I got a serious boner. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Come every Sunday for more comedy. Even though Tosaka is in her most exposed and defenseless form, My becoming frantic will ruin this whole thing.
今度はこれでどう？
How about now, Shiro? Tosaka's voice trembles. I slowly look over Tosaka's body. She put her leggings back on and took off her shirt. I can faintly see the soft outline of her body under the dim lamplight. Her shoulder, neck, and collarbone form the most beautiful silhouette.
おうこれで満足？
Well, are you happy now? I'm relieved that even when she looks beautiful, she's still the same snappy Tosaka. I try to relax my expression as I feel that I may have unknowingly broken into a smile.
文句なし。
This
逆にこっちが。
is actually making it very difficult for me. I cover my face with my hands and take a very deep breath. If I don't at least hide my face, which is probably red as an apple right now, I'll lose my composure.
その顔を見る
Since
と
I
だけ
get to
で
see you like
当
that,
たり
let's call it
と
even.
じゃあシロ
Shiro,
こ
come
っち
here.
来て
Tosaka makes a gesture, beckoning me to join her at the bed. We sit facing each other on the bed. The bed bounces, reacting to our weight. Wah! Without saying a word, we both take in a deep breath. Tosaka's gonna start the magic crest transplant ritual. I force myself to calm down before this intimate encounter. My consciousness is getting clearer as I focus my
始め
mind.
るわシロの胸に
I'm
これを
gonna
当て
start
て
now, Shiro. Hold this against your chest. She reaches out her left hand with the magic crest. As I begin receiving magical energy, the pattern on the upper level of my exposed arm faintly started to shine.
同調した後にシロの魔術
After
タイ
we
ルに
sync
魔
up,
術刻
I'll
印を移植
transplant my
する
magic crest into your magic circuit.
魔術刻印は必要
Ultimately,
他人の体
The magic crest is part of someone
植え
else's
付けられ
body.
るのは異物を盛り込まれ
Having
る
it
ことだから
transplanted into you is the
体
same
が
as
拒絶
getting a
反応を
foreign
示すかも
object
し
put
れないわ
inside you. So it's possible that your body may show signs of rejection.
わかった。
I
そ
understand.
ういう荒事にはな
I'm
れ
used to rough stuff like that. This is no different from how I was training to use my magic circuit, activating a foreign nerve system while learning to control it. Not sure if it will be the same experience as with the magic crest.
そうね体に無茶させる
Seems
の
you
は
are.
見てるんだっけ
I heard you have a tendency to exhausting your body. Maybe because this reminded her of my unusual training, but Tosaka lets out a small giggle. However,
それはそれとして
that's
変な
that.
ことしたら
If you
殺す
do
から
anything weird right now, I'll kill you. She glares at me with narrowed
変
eyes.
なことって例えば
What do you mean by weird? She ignored me. I shortened the distance between us at the point that our shoulders are practically bumping together. It looks like I'm embracing Tosaka's left hand. I can feel Tosaka's breath on my neck. But then I realize she isn't just breathing.
清く将来
Gib den wander den, Vogel das Twinkwasser, der vom Langenweg kommt,
刻印制御
benutzt den Volgradmen
停止
in dem Verschlüssel nicht angewendet word. I'm hitting that shit. Her breath trembles as she utters the incantation. I can sense the magical energy is filling her body through her left hand. Her delicate fingers are placed on my chest. Through them, I feel her pulse together with my own heartbeat.
名役を刻む
Ich spinne den Regenbogen in Neum selbst.
一つ
Heights, wetter, Regen, wind, Schnee.
四つ
Hold on.
五つ六つ数えなく
What is she? She's not even saying it, is she? I close my eyes to concentrate even further. My heartbeat is syncing with the pulse of her magical energy. She's adjusting her pulse to match mine, while I maintain a steady rhythm. I focus my mind and keep it in a serene state like I do during my own training. This is the only thing I can do, since I've never experienced synchronization and don't have a feel for it.
小さく大きく 大きく小さく広く発症
My eyelids are closed as if they'd been sewn shut. My sense of smell is weakening, and my sense of taste is fading. My body's senses are getting distorted. I can't tell clearly if I'm sitting down or if I'm standing up. In contrast, I can feel the warmth of Tosaka's skin intimately. My own heartbeat and Tosaka's pulse, I can't tell which is which anymore. A phantom pain as if someone was having a hold over my heart. A phantom experience as if I'm gripping someone else's heart. I move around my fingers trying to identify this feeling I have in my palm. My hearing still works. I heard a sound just now. Wait, my senses are mixed up. I can't tell if that was my body I touched or if that was Tosaka's voice I heard. The breaths that escape from her mouth are pained. Even while knowing that it isn't my own breath that I'm hearing, I can't help but listen to it.
ちょっと真面目にやりなさいよシロ
Hey, try to pull yourself together, Shiro. A voice from inside of me just yelled at me. I try to ask what's happening and what's going to happen.
今は同調の初期段階
We're only at the first phase of
入
synchronization.
れ替わって
That's why our senses have swapped and are all mixed up.
これから本番が来る
The
わ
real challenge is coming.
集中しないと
If you don't focus, you'll be pulled about by our shared senses. That was as much as I could hear before I suddenly lost myself. It feels like my body has turned to paper and is rapidly being folded up. Slowly, the paper that is my body is being carefully tucked away. But since time has stopped for the surrounding world, from the outside it probably seems like all of this is happening at the speed of light. There's no limit to this repeated process of accumulation and contradiction. Even though there's a limit to how many times you can fold up a two-dimensional surface, no matter how much area it has, my body keeps folding inward. My vision turns blue, while it was red before I was folded up. I'm floating. I'm falling yet floating at the same time, and the world is passing me by at a rapid speed. I try to reach out my hand to familiarize myself in this world, where acceleration and termination exist at the same time. I just realized that my arms were already folded away, so there's nothing for me to reach out with. Now that's an issue. I already severed things that I deemed unnecessary from this place, but I didn't think I would lose my arms and legs. If this keeps on, then I'll lose my sense of self. That's why the first thing I need to do is not to confirm the world, but to assume my own form. I squeeze my hands. Although temporary, I've certainly achieved a sense of self. I'm floating in the blue celestial sphere. There's no up or down, no sky or earth. It's quiet. I'm not talking about sound, but my current finite state of serenity. Time is flowing on the outside. Blue sea fills the outside. There's nothing within the celestial sphere. That means the celestial sphere is a sky to the blue sea. The egg of the world. Is the celestial sphere being covered in shells? Or is the celestial sphere flipped inside out? Does the void give birth to all? Or does the void seep out from all? The celestial sphere continues to rotate while inverted. Here time is eternal. The formless gains form over the course of an eternity. Nothing shares the same form, and no lives differ from one another. It is a phenomenon that is common to all things. Common forms congregate and thus give form to different laws. Each rare occurrence also represents each great result. Beautiful, just like the fish traversing through the vast sea. What does not exist in this complete world? This world doesn't create persistence or preservation, no symbiosis or hostility. This place welcomes visitors. If a foreign object falls in here for them to exploit, they will of course respond to it. A tremendous flow of time is wavering. The collective of Magic Crest senses the foreign object's intention, but you must be careful. My senses are subverted. I'm seeing illusions. A hidden past not of my own passes me. It was an old memory, someone else's memory, a memory of parting with someone in the morning, a memory of being placed in a mansion away from Fuyuki once the battle had started. You must be careful. No matter what kind of response to whatever intention, any process conducted by them can only be perceived by humans as divine punishment. In a body that has no need for eyeballs and a brain, I'm getting dizzy. Information is passing by me. I'm seeing old memories, parting with a certain someone in the morning. The memory of a person who watched their loved one leave knowing she would never hold his hands again. Lines from the magic crest are swimming around me, surrounding me while looking for bait. There's nothing I can do. Well, there's nothing a bait can do to begin with. This won't result in anything unless I observe and accept everything like this. Change is ever so slow. Time surrounds me in a spiral passing through my body. It starts to corrode me, like it has been devouring the void. Characters, too. Season, winter. Name, farewell. Flowers are being offered. A young girl standing in front of the grave. A priest standing, towering behind the young girl. There are no words. The girl is determined to bury her own sadness yet again today. Foreign substances are invading. Spiraled blades are closing in on the body. It's like a malicious bulbul. The crest transplant has started. I observe the gruesome reality. Fortunately, my function to feel pain is still folded away. I see myself being cuffed, binded, severed, dismembered, compressed, and played with, yet it feels like someone else. How easy it is to cut the flesh. Oh, how easy it is to shave the bone. The only thing left felt like a soul being eternally tormented. One of my arms turned into that of an insect's. Or it seems like it. How disgusting. This is also her suffering. A type of pain that I've heard resides within the magic crest. I respect her. She harbors this kind of discomfort, or rather horror, that is several times more repulsive inside her body, and she's able to laugh like that. She doesn't feel any disgust. When you think like that, what is there to be afraid of? Suddenly I've come in contact with a particular deep spot. This is mixed in amongst memories of farewell and departure. It was an encounter that seared into her heart. Someone was running in the schoolyard. It's a high jump. Someone was running towards the bar again and again. She was standing there watching the whole thing. It was meaningless, yet he kept trying until sunset. She thought to herself, what is the meaning of this? Yet she kept watching, as if she was betrayed by something, as if she just witnessed something precious. That was it. An after-school sight that's not unusual in any school. But to her, it was a sight that stirred up a revolution in her heart. Faintly. It was a sight familiar also to me, a sight from those bygone days. Time is returning to the outside. The world is returning completely. The strong self-awareness gained in exchange for my folded away body is evaporating, just like foam disappearing on the surface of the sea. I was cut away from the inner world as I welcomed a strange substance into my arm. My body feels heavy. I open my eyes when I'm still asleep, half asleep, and try to faintly grasp my surroundings. My consciousness is coming back. I'm lying on the bed facing up, with the top half of my body naked. My left shoulder is burning and sweating. When I try to wipe the sweat away, it hurts, as if it's suffering from a burn. I thought I was seeing more fingers. It's obvious I'm not the same self from before.
そうだ。遠坂、
By the way,
成功したの
Tosaka,
か。
was the ritual successful? Just how many hours have passed since then? Don't tell me, did I end up passing out and sleeping while time just passed by?
なんだ。
Thank goodness. Tosaka, you're still there. That's a relief. I thought for sure I'd overslept and, huh? Am I imagining this or is she glaring at me?
遠坂、成功したの
Tosaka,
か。
was it successful?
もちろん成功したわよ。
Of course it was successful.
申し分ないぐらい
It was
バ
a
ッチリ。
resounding success.
後遺症なんて出ない
It
わ
was
け。
so successful there's not even a slight
そういう
trace
の
of
が
side
得意だった
effects.
綺麗だって
It was so
わざわざ
perfectly
しながら
done,
よ
even
くやった
Kira
っ
would
て
praise me with
認め
that
て褒めるぐ
devious
らい
face
大
of
切に。
his.
ああ、
Oh, okay. I'm sure that must be quite the achievement. But somehow Tosaka isn't proud about it, and she doesn't feel like her usual arrogant self. Rather, she's angry. She's really, really angry. I can sense the tension between us. She's clearly sulking about something. I don't know why, but it seems something has gone wrong. I feel like I need to read her mind immediately and calm her down, but I'm such a bad pupil, I'm not able to think of any reason as to why Tosaka would be angry. This persistent pain in my left arm. A strange feeling like that. Strange feeling that's like a combination of sharp pain from deep cuts and stinking pain from being burnt.
うわ。
Without a doubt, a streak of an elaborately designed seal is branded on my left arm. It looks like Tosaka's magic crest and it emits a faint blue light.
遠坂、これが。
Tosaka, is this?
ええ。私
Yes.
から移植した魔
This is
術
the
方法
magic
よ。
crest I transplanted.
もうただの
It already became part of your circuit and any traces of its original magecraft is nowhere to be seen.
そうか。
I see.
いや、すごいな。
This sure is something.
もっと痛むと思
I
った。
thought it would hurt, but it doesn't really hurt at all. If anything, my
ぐら
arm
いか。
only feels a bit more heavy than before.
それも時期になれるわ。
You'll get used to it
魔力を
soon.
つなげるだけのパスだ
Its
から。
sole purpose is to connect our magical
そういう
energies
影響はない
together.
話。
It shouldn't have any effect on the human body.
刻印。
The magic crest,
回路
or
の方が
rather,
体に擬態
the
してい
circuit
く
will
から
slowly assimilate
半
into
年
your
もすれば
body,
何も感じな
and
く
you
な
won't
る
even feel a thing in about half a year.
そうか。
If
じゃあ
that's
これで
so, then that means
移植は完了。
the transplant is
基本
complete.
的には
It's
私から
basically a
システムに
one-way
移植
path
する
from me to you,
そっちから魔力
so
を
it's
送
not
ることが
possible for
で
you
き
to
ない
send
わ
your magical energy to me.
今の段
All
階
I
で
can
でき
do
る
for you
のは
now
私の
is
魔
send you
力
my
を送る
magical
こと
energy.
ここからはあなたの頑張り
It's all up to you now.
こういう
We
結
have
果に
secured the
これ
magical
でクリア
energy
したんだ
necessary
か
to
ら
create the reality marble. All that's left is my problem. All I need to do is fully activate my magic circuit and successfully create the reality
そ
marble.
うだな。
You're right.
あ
Thank
り
you,
がとう
Tosaka. I'll make good use of your magic circuit, your
当
magic
然
crest.
よ
You
ご
better.
めんなんて言わせないわ
And also, don't expect me to apologize.
超クラス
You don't just owe me one. You owe me a trillion, and it's a lifetime worth of debt.
そりゃ。
You're right about
し
that.
ょうものだ。で、
Oh,
どう
why
してそん
were
な
you
に
so
遠
angry
坂
just
は怒
now?
ってるんだ。
見たでし
You
ょ
saw it, right?
Eh?
Huh? What did I see exactly? Don't tell me that when I thought I blanked out during my ritual, my body actually reacted on its own and did something to Osaka.
また。
Wait a second, did I do something?
俺、
だから見たで
Don't
し
act
ょ
so innocent.
けたもの
You saw it, you animal.
けど。
Animal? Not possible. Did I actually do something to her that was so rough that she would use that word to describe me? Wait, there's no way that happened. I mean, the bed is tidy, and besides, I wouldn't be alive if anything like that happened.
そうだ。
Now I remember. First and foremost, my eyes weren't functioning during the ritual, so I really couldn't see anything other than what looked like a magic circuit and... Oh. Maybe that's what Tosaka was talking about? An illusion I saw for a brief moment. In the state where we were sharing our senses due to the synchronization, it's possible that we could see imagery from each other's mind. It wouldn't be much different than when I saw Saber's dream or Heroic Spirit Emiya's dream. It all makes sense now. If this is the case, the only thing that she would care about is that scene taking place at the schoolyard during sunset. Something that I haven't seen in my other dreams. I got it. It must be that. Tosaka, you've been having a weird dream, right? At some schoolyard somewhere, you kept looking at an idiot who wouldn't give up on high jumping until sunset. What was that about? Ow. I was hit by a pillow before I could finish my sentence. It was a swift and powerful swing. A critical strike even Saber and Fujine would be proud of. There's another problem. It's the fact that a normal soft pillow can have the impact and damage as if it was filled with water or something. Tosaka, what are you? Shut up, shut up, shut up! She keeps on hitting me with the pillow. She's still looking like she did when she first started the ritual. Tosaka continues her assault with the pillow. Ouch, ouch, did you infuse some magical energy into that thing? Would you just quit it and tell me what's up with you? Shut up, you animal! How dare you pick at someone's secret and just act like nothing happened? Ow, ow, wait a minute! That's a secret to you? Damn. When I was surprised by her answer, she saw the opening and hit me in the face. That was a swift and powerful pillow uppercut. Maybe it's also the exhaustion from the transplant, but I'm haphazardly knocked down again. Tosaka must still be angry because she grabs me by the back of my neck and starts dragging me across the floor. She's about to murder you! Fine, you just remember this moment. One day I'll peek at your embarrassing memories and it'll be too late to beg me for forgiveness. Please forgive me. Wait, what are you doing? She won't hear me out at all. She grabs the back of my neck and throws me out of her room. Mr. Emiya, just so you know, a girl has a lot to do to get ready. So would you return to your room now? With that evil grin of hers, Osaka slams the door. Thrown out into the hallway looking like this, I blankly look up at the door. Don't be ridiculous. Guys have a lot of stuff to do too, you fucking asshole. I hold my dizzy head and get up. I thought of saying something back to Tosaka on the other side of the door, but that's the dumbest shit I could have possibly done. I wasn't able to ask Osaka what that scene I saw meant to her. Well, if she's that mad about it, it must have some special meaning. Uttering silly stuff like that to myself, I go back to my room. It was probably just an excuse for Tosaka to kick me out, but it's true that there's no time. The date has already changed. There's probably less than an hour left before we head to the temple. Yeah, this is. I close my eyes and feel the magical energy for Tosaka pouring into me. Tosaka isn't consciously supplying me, yet it's filling my body up. If my maximum magical energy capacity is 20 or 30 units, then she always has 500 units of magical energy. I'm sure that would take years to stock up, but her maximum capacity might reach 1,000 units if someone supplied her. I'm surprised, she really is amazing. That reconfirms it, or rather I finally realize it now. Well, she's depleted now, and mages usually only keep about 80% of their magical energy. Tosaka's magical energy is about 400 units right now. But that's still a massive amount. I use about 2 units of magical energy to use Strengthening Magecraft once. To use Projection once, I use about 5 units, on average. Using that example, the projection that I can use only 6 times, at most could be used 30 or even 60 times with the help of Tosaka. Well, a cheap vehicle will overheat no matter how much fuel there is, but it has tremendously increased my power. I might even be able to stand a chance of winning against the king of heroes like this. All that's left is... there's 1 more hour. I should rest my body until then. I'll rest my body and regain my mental and physical strength for the final battle at Ryudo Temple. Everything is set. I'll face the last night with a fully prepared body for Tosaka's sake too, since she gave me her magic crest and opened up to me. Fuck! That's the end of the episode, guys. If y'all enjoyed, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I read them all. Tap into the next one. Man, I swear it's only been getting better and better. The Fate route was so fucking peak. This route is so fucking gas. Like, dude. Oh, okay, before we get into it though, I've been having a thought, right? I've been having a thought. Would you guys want me to do Heaven's Feel in the Realta version of Fate Stay Night? Because I have it. I actually downloaded it before I bought the remastered version. I actually downloaded it before I bought Remastered, you know? But I've been thinking about it, right? I was wondering, like, which version would people actually prefer? And plus, I kind of feel like I'm missing out not having 8 scenes. Because when I was playing Tsukihime, those 8 scenes were so fucking hilarious. It was so funny. No, don't get me wrong. I feel like what they've replaced them with is more meta, like more symbolic, and I think it's a lot better than what an 8 scene could ever be. Don't get me wrong. Like what we just saw now, I'm sure that was originally an 8 scene, but I think that's way better than any 8 scene could possibly do. But the 8 scenes are funny as hell. you feel me? Like they're funny as hell. I don't know, man. I don't know. But you know, just let me know. Let me know what y'all want. This is all about what y'all want. Like, I have no problem continuing the remastered version because I'm having such a good time with it. But I also have no problem at all switching over to the Realta version and playing that instead. No issues on either front. Like, I'm completely solid on both ideas. So it's all up to y'all. Just let me know in the comments which one y'all would prefer, and that'll be Heaven's Feel. But next episode, we're finishing Unlimited Blade Works. Fuck, this game is so fucking, it's so gas. Peace out, I love y'all. Tap in.